D's nuts. These nuts.
These nuts.
These nuts.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God. Stop fucking lying.
That's a huge bitch.
This house is clean.
This house is clean.
God damn it! We lost! We fucking super lost, man! Tell them, McCluskey. Tell them what time it is.
I don't believe you people.
What do you mean, you people? What do you mean?
What do you mean, you people?
It's all there, black and white, clear as crystal. You get nothing. You lose. Good day, sir.
What's up, people? Like 4 people in here. I know it's Fadders Day and people are probably tired. I know I'm fucking tired. I can't lie. It was an awesome fucking weekend, but Jiggy is tired as fuck. I feel like I played football all fucking weekend and it was tackle, like full contact sport, but totally worth it. So to all you fathers, stepfathers, uncles, brothers, cousins, best friends, anybody who steps up and takes that part and plays a role in somebody's life that could be missed, then cheers to all of you. As you all know, I don't have any children, but I have a grandbaby. So I know it sounds weird how that got skipped, but it's in there. So, and I appreciate it. However, you see my little alien I'm showing y'all. She knows her granddaddy well. She won it, and I didn't even know she won it. So we went to an amusement park here that I haven't been to in probably 30 years. I believe the last time I was here, my oldest niece was probably about the same, a little older than my grandbaby is now. And it was just fun to be there, and we had a great time. So it was awesome. Although that's why I'm so hurt, because I love roller coasters, which I did not. I haven't done a roller coaster since my surgeries, but I haven't been on any rides at all. I was in Busch Gardens back in Orlando in October, but I chose not to do any of the rides because I really wasn't sure how my stomach was going to handle it after having, major stomach surgery twice. So I was the grandbaby, so I was like, fuck it, I'll suck it up. And I did suck it up, and it actually turned out to be pretty cool, but like the very first ride, like I'm sitting next to her and the ride squishes you into each other. And she's just like, oh my God, my tummy. And I'm like, yeah, I know what you mean. My fucking stomach hurts too. And I got off that ride with her because she was but she kind of worked herself through it after. I was like, just breathe, relax. But when we got off the ride, I was dizzy as fuck. And you talk about a motherfucker manning up. You ever play that game where you twist around and shit and then you got to try to walk? I was not trying to fall though. I was like, I'm not falling down in front of this little girl. So, but it was interesting. But I got through it. Ended up doing a couple more rides. What's up, Lee? What's up, KB? It was a great day. So I have no complaints. I had a beautiful time. Much more than I could have expected. So it was cute. Give me a second. I haven't rolled my blunt yet. I haven't smoked today yet either. Nothing. I didn't get stood up this weekend. That's why. I actually got to hang out with her. I know most people are probably sleeping, all fucking tuckered out. Lee was live earlier. The grannies were live earlier. And then I just figured I'll try to take up a little bit of late spot, but I didn't think many people would be on. But I figured I was going to smoke a blunt. I'll do it, you motherfuckers, till I don't feel like doing it no more. Since nobody wants to come in and talk, Lee, what are you doing? Excuse me. All right. Anybody know who won the basketball game? Yes! Atlanta. Go ATL. Bye, 76ers. Bye-bye. So you got Milwaukee versus Atlanta, and the Clippers are playing the Suns. It's like changing of the god almost. I wonder who everybody roots for. I know who I root for. I root for Atlanta because Atlanta is my second home. Like I spent a lot of time. My got a lot of family there growing up and going down there and chilling and stuff. So Atlanta's always been my second home. So I've always rooted for their teams. Although when it comes to football, I don't tell anybody this, but the 49ers are my second favorite team. Only because back in the day, I met a bunch of the fucking Niners players on a connecting flight, and they were just cool as shit. They would talk to you. Where I've met other football players back when I used to do stuff at the airport with my father who were just fucking cunts. So I'm a huge 49ers fan. But obviously behind my motherfucking Patriots. Behind my Patriots. Right. I ain't sitting on no money invites. Motherfuckers don't want to come. I'll smoke a bunch of blunts. and be gone. I just hate talking solo. And I'm sure you folks don't want to hear me fucking preach to you about anything. Nor do I want to preach. So I preach. Yeah. What? Just keep it on the download. Mm-hmm. It's weird, too. Not too many people stream on Sunday, and I guess I see why. Although, Robin, I wish you were here because I want to tell you I don't like you right now. Just because of something you posted. You made me go watch a video of somebody I didn't know what the fuck it was. And, oh, my God. I don't even understand how some of these people even get airtime. Like, I get it, but, like, I don't even know if I want to even mention that chick's name. Like, she's just gross. And I'm sorry, it's not even just the aesthetics of it, because I know it's horrible to judge people based on aesthetics. You know, one man's trash, another man's treasure, blah, blah, blah. But some people are just ugly and just, I think ugly is an understatement. It's just the core of them. Like, I don't know if anybody's been paying attention, but if everybody's paying attention, have they seen the new chick who is out here going to Emery saying that she was like engaged to him? She's been like the last year and a half and blah, blah, blah. And I just started watching her testimonial video, as I will call it. And it's just hilarious to me that these people always, like a year later, time later, they figured out, oh my God, guess what? They've been lying to me the whole time. They're liars. They're fakes. It's like all the stuff that these people talk about, these overly spiritual people, these overly educated people, these people who know all this type of stuff. Like, she prefaces the whole. Lee, have you checked out any of this chick I'm talking about?
Okay. I was jumping on the StreamYard and stuff. Who are you talking about now?
So she's what the hell? What's her name? Hold on a second. Give me 2 seconds, please. Vanilla Sky Dreaming is her account. I don't know what her real name is on YouTube.
Interesting name. What is she discussing?
Well, she's discussing Emery Smith. Apparently, she's coming out saying, but
samples of alien DNA that no one's ever seen.
Right. She's basically trashing him, but backing some of the shit he's saying at the same time, which is so odd to me. It's like you people are so intelligent. It's not. She's got a lot of followers, true or real or fake or whatever. It's like, if you're so smart and you can discern this shit, how do you fall into the hands of Emery Smith? And you're telling the conversation. She's like, oh, you know, I was so in there. He's so smart, and he was telling me he had 3 PhDs and blah blah. So you mean you fell for all that shit? And it took you a year and a half to figure that shit out. Okay.
Okay, but this is a 70-year-old narrative out there that some people are new to.
No, I get she's not new to it, Lee. Just I'll
doing the clickbaity woo-woo stuff because she knows what she's doing too, though. I will say that much.
Well, she's like the points on the curve guy. She's one of those people who
that bad, huh?
Exactly. That's essentially what it is. You enable all that they can until it's not fun to enable them anymore, or something changes, and then all of a sudden there's this whole testimonial about how bad these people are. These people are this, that, and the third. If it takes you a year and a half to really figure somebody out that you're engaged to, there's a problem. And how long did you know him before you got engaged? It's like, how does this whole thing pan out? Like, please explain it to me, because I'm dumb then. I'll just be plumb dumb.
Once again, I think that dude's abusive, so I ain't gonna say much because I don't want the white knighters for that crew to come after me.
Oh, you know, they can come after me all they want. I don't give 2 fucks.
I know. Well, again, I call them out all the time, and they get all pissed off at me and then start slandering me and calling me a troll.
I know. Poor Lee's just a bad guy because he asks questions. What's wrong with you, Lee? That's not how the game works, homie.
Which game are we talking about?
The game that they all play. Oh, wait, did I add 6s? Hey, 6.
Hey.
Happy Father's Day.
Yeah, Lee, happy Father's Day.
I ain't a pop. I drowned all my kids down.
Like an asshole.
Bad joke.
That was horrible timing. We over here at Paranormal Hood do not back anything about that. What's up, Hollis? I don't know if you're a father, brother, but happy birthday. Happy Father's Day. That was the funny thing about being at that park, Lee. All the fucking people who work at the park are all kids. So I'm like, are you a father? They're like, no. I'm like, good. Wait. Like, just wait. Like, take your fucking time.
Did you have a good grandpa day?
Oh, it was awesome, dude. Like I said, it's this particular park I haven't been to. I mean, I talked to my father today too in like 35 plus years. And it was just fun to be there. You know, it wasn't overwhelming. The rides kind of fucked my body up a little bit, but I'll live. You know, but yeah, I had a great day. Okay.
You can do a 20 and back. You can do some kiddie rides.
Mm-hmm. See, you see, little alien. She get my grandbaby knows her grandfather well.
Oh.
Aww.
Okay, and I got a plant and some
What kind of
cats.
plant?
I think they might be violets because they're purple. I imagine that. I think they're violets or lilac. No, what lilacs are purple too as well, right?
Yep.
But I think they're violets actually. I think it's like a violet plant.
Lilacs, lavender, and violets. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's lavender. I believe
Irises.
Yeah.
Wait, eyes?
What about plants?
Iris.
Right. Yeah. Eye has an
Iris.
iris. Yeah, eye has an iris as well.
Plants I know
Yeah.
about.
Yeah.
Mhm, I
That's
think.
tomatoes.
I think. Okay. I even got wet at the park. I let the water. I went down the log ride,
Oh, sweet. Good
which
spot.
was which was the only one I fucking remember. That's the only ride from this place I remembered.
What's the name of the park up there?
It's called Canopy Lake.
Cool.
We used to have a ton of parks around. In fact, I split. If you ever see me up close and personal, you probably haven't seen it. You'll see I have a scar right here. So when I was younger, the closest park we used to have was called Paragon Park to the city. You could probably get there in like 20 minutes. And my father took me there as a young kid. I had to be under 8 years old, and I split my head open on the bumper cars.
Yikes.
Yeah.
On the bumper cars?
Yep. And I think that's probably not saying it was me that made them stop putting cushions on the things, but I'm sure I'm one of many people whose accidents decided to make them, one, raise the age limit, and two, put the cushions on the steering wheels of bumper cars.
You must be taller than this to ride this ride.
Oh no, that's never been a problem.
I
I think I started going on the adult rides when I was like 2.
I look back to the stuff my parents used to let me do, and I'm just like, how is that safe? Even
Lee, let's be honest. Even 6s, we're all at that age where if we look back on life, pretty much almost everything we did would be considered unsafe now. Everything. What we ate, what we drank, how we played, how we partied, how we drove, how we rode bikes, how we rode roller skates. Everything that we did back then is considered unsafe now.
once again, I think kids party a lot harder than I did.
If you ain't got one scar on your body from trying to do something stupid on a skateboard, you
didn't
ain't lived.
Exactly.
Thank
ain't
you.
lived.
I've got several. You know, what the hell?
Hey, listen, I get it. I'm not knocking anybody who coddles their kids, whatever you want to call it. I completely get it. As a parent, as an adult, you don't want to see a child hurt. But at the same time, that hurt is what gives you character. It's what gives you understanding of pain. And once you understand what pain is, you either deal with pain because you like it and you're like, fuck it, I don't care. Or you learn, I don't want to do this again because that pain was immense. So there's a learning curve that I think nowadays a lot of these kids aren't getting, and they wonder why they're so coddled and shit. It's because you coddle them with everything. They literally get on a bicycle with like a suit of fucking armor to go ride a bicycle or a skateboard.
Once again, that's more the mom than it is the kid, probably.
Hi, Jolly.
No offense to any moms out there.
I'm just saying.
I'm glad my mom wasn't that overly protective.
Mine either. We come from a different time. They were like, go, listen, we were boys, especially, not trying to be funny, but the way that mothers kind of dealt with boys back in the day was completely different. It was like, go do your thing. If you've come home and you're fucked up, as long as you didn't fuck up your good clothes, we're cool. You can fuck up your body, you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't care. You come all scratched up and fucked up, like, whatever. But you fucked up your school clothes, you was getting ass whooping. But I was the only one that had school clothes.
No, I had school clothes. I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
You had to go home and change out them before you could play.
I went to a Catholic school from grade 6 to 8, and our playground was a parking lot. And you know what we used to play in that parking lot every day? Football. Tackle football.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
So I came home with my fucking pants all ripped up. My mother's like, motherfucker!
Oh, gee.
You only have to do the 2 years indoctrinations, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Them fucking uniforms are expensive.
Yes, they are.
Mm-hmm. That's why she lost her shit.
Well, yeah, because if you don't want to fuck up your good pants and everything and stuff, you know. And I was big and tall, so it wasn't like you could just run to any random store to get my stuff either.
Oh, I love growing up being the big and tall kid.
What size shoe you got, Jiggy?
15.
Oh,
I might be getting back to a 14 though, because I don't have the same amount of mass on my body. So I'm starting to feel like my feet might be shrinking a little bit. So I might be able to go back to a 14. The problem is my right ankle has screws and stuff in it. So it constantly used to swell up all the time. But I don't get the swelling anymore. So I'm hoping that I'm past all that and then I can go down to shoe size again.
But don't throw them away. I might want a canoe.
Well, yeah, you don't want my shoes. I don't buy new shoes often, so the sneakers I was wearing like the past few days, the past couple of weeks, I've had for like 12 years. People are like, yo, those sneakers are dope. I was like, these are old. Like I've worn, they've been worn. They've just sat in a fucking thing for a while. Whatever.
Speaking of old, Jiggy,
What?
have you ever found yourself working at something called, it's called Woodstick? It's a drummers convention.
No.
Oh.
I've never even heard of it. I don't even know if it's ever made it this way. I've never heard of that.
It's here and there.
I mean, it may have been here. It just depends on where they would go and do the event at or whatever.
I was watching this guy. He's awesome. I think his name is Steve Moore, and he plays the drums. And they had some videos of him playing the drums. He's something else. He's like, you know, the Muppets Animal.
Yep.
He's like that. Yeah, him, but incarnate, and he never misses a beat. Drum instructors will watch him and do responses, and he's good. He just does these really weird shit. I think his name is Steve Moore, and yeah, he's a trip. But there was a guy that caught he looked like a security guy, and I thought, I wonder if that's Jiggy.
No.
But nope, wasn't you.
I've got mistaken for a bunch of different people. I don't know if you remember the trial of Michael Skakel. He was the Kennedy cousin that was in Connecticut that was convicted of murdering his neighbor. But if you ever went back and watched that trial, the whole thing, his bodyguard looked just like me. And I was getting tons of calls all the time. Like, dude, why are you on TV with this dude? I was like, what are you talking about? I'm home. Like, you called me at home. They're like, well, you're on TV with Michael Skakel. I mean, that's not me.
Cool.
So I'm like, whatever. I'll take the money. I'm pretty sure that Kennedy money is long. So shit.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Just saying. I ain't him. Shit, I've had professional athletes confuse me for other professional athletes before.
I saw you at the Woodstick. It wasn't me. Saw you at the court.
Oh, you didn't see me in no
Wasn't
Woodstick.
me.
You might have seen me at the cat house. I ain't no Woodstick.
No, wasn't you.
I like kitty cat.
But this drummer, he was pretty entertaining to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, no, just never. I don't know if they've ever had the event here. They could have had it just maybe different places, maybe up in New Hampshire, surrounding states, whatever. Anything's possible.
Yep.
Jolly, do you want to come in and join us? I don't know if you feel like talking. Whatever. Let me know. What's up, Dex?
I think she's watching the dumpster fire right now.
There's a dumpster fire?
Oh my goodness. Yes, it is roaring and blazing right now down there in the park.
You mean on YouTube type of dumpster fires?
Uh-huh.
Oh boy. I've probably peeked in on a couple of them.
I peeped in on one earlier. I wish I'd never watched.
Was this dumpster fire have anything to do about like trains and train tracks and stuff?
Oh, the train's been going off the rails for a long time.
We're going off the rails on the crazy track.
It's funny, but not funny.
Do you know how I found that song? I never knew that song until I played Guitar Hero.
Drop her a link, Jig.
What do you say?
She's not busy. She'll come hang out.
Okay. So can you send her a link? You want me to drop it to her?
Go. Oh, I guess I can.
I know you can.
Dirt.
I'm not here to do work. I'm here to smoke weed and look pretty. And hang out with my new friend.
Well, Lee's pretty too.
I got to give him a name. What should I name him?
Oops.
I think I'm going to name him Gazoo. This is my Gazoo.
Alf?
No, I'm going to name
Alien
him Gazoo.
Life?
Nope.
Gazoo. Oh, I remember Gazoo.
Maybe tonight
He was in
he'll
the
come alive
Jetsons.
and talk to me. Exactly.
From the Jetsons?
No, from Fred Flintstone. Dum Dum. Remember you used to call Fred Dum Dum?
Oh.
Okay, send it to her through
Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Espérate, por favor.
Kazoo. For some reason, I was thinking the Jetsons.
Yeah, no, the Jetsons, I don't think they had aliens on there, did they? I don't even remember aliens even being on the Jetsons. I just remember they were a futuristic society, I believe.
Meet George Jetson.
His boy Elroy.
Martian and that other dude came from there. Thank you. Get your comic straight, friend. Hello.
No, Marvin Martian came from what do you call it?
Bugs Bunny.
I'm taking a piss, talking smack.
Oh, okay.
Being for realsy. This isn't a live action role playing game in here.
Well, you know you're getting old, Lee. You know, senility is the first thing to set in, right?
Short-term memory loss. Yes.
What?
Blame Jason. Short-term memory loss disease.
What are we talking about?
Then I blame Jason.
It's Jason Quitt's fault? No, it's everything is Cool K's fault now. We're blaming the Canadians.
You can't blame the Canadians.
I can blame whoever I want.
Well, you can, but I can't because I'm on those Canucks team.
You're the Canuck? Uh-oh.
I'm a northerner. I'm trading teams. I don't want to be with y'all southerners no more.
Yeah, well, good luck with over there, man.
Just kidding.
It's evil up there, man. They're the evil empire.
I'm sick
Rush.
of people trading.
Can't be that evil. No, I mean, Rush come from Canada. Rush is an awesome band. Neil Peart, come on.
2012.
Yeah.
True.
Oh, yeah. It's the first album I ever bought, 2112.
Yep.
Yep.
I didn't even know who Rush was until what's that movie with Paul Rudd and Jason? Is it Seymour? What's his name? Jason something.
Once again, you all are the movie nerds. I'm the one who makes jokes about
But that's how I learned about a lot of music. I learned about Rush because that's all the dude was talking about was Rush in the fucking movie. What's it called?
Oh.
I Love You, Man.
Oh, hey, y'all.
Hey
Jolly.
there. Hey,
I'm good. How are you?
yeah. You know me.
Hi, Jolly.
I think I want to take full credit.
Hell yeah!
Don't do you fucking sound
No, don't do that. You'll trigger the fuck out of me, Jiggy.
So barking over here. And I'll start making jokes about the hose, Jolly. Get the hose.
I'm getting more than the freaking hose. Jesus.
The lotion in the basket, Jiggy.
You can't do nothing to me, man.
Basket. You're gonna
They're
get
fucking Baskins.
Hmm.
y'all love my music. But then
You set a few dumpster fires, Lee. They're burning all over the trailer park and cat ladies and all sorts of shit going off everywhere.
yeah, I know. Sugar Shine's quite upset with us here.
She has sand in her vajayjay. I think she needs a little douche.
No, just
She's very irritated.
No, just give her your tarantula.
No, she can handle the tarantula.
Yeah.
Set her other
It's
eye out.
much nastier in there than that.
Then you got Skank Ape talking with her boyfriend lovers.
Oh.
Does any of these people's name begin with an S?
Once again,
Skanko, yeah.
there's lots of names involved here. You
But
might
the
be
Skank
surprised
Ape,
about the crossover when you start talking about Young Pharaoh.
Oh,
Oh,
that fucking
a little bit.
And then we got the Gators. Giddy up.
He is so proud of
Oh
himself.
no.
He
That's
is
a good
so proud of
bishop.
himself.
Once again, I don't know what's been going on with what's his name, Tommy Sotomayor and all that stuff. But man, they've been going at each other's throats the last like 2 months. It's hilarious. But again, I'm just a cracker, low salt teeny flaky boy over here.
I don't even know what that means, but okay.
With yes can and attitude.
They haven't taken the time to know you.
I know. I really want to hang out with Charlamagne the God and DJ Envy.
Maybe if they'd taken the time to get to know him, they wouldn't have fucked with him so hard.
Exactly.
Just saying.
Hey, Drew J.
Hey, Drew J.
Hey, Drew J, what's up, brother? I don't know if you're a father, Drew J. If you are, happy Father's Day, sir.
There you go.
Dex, I meant to mention happy Father's Day to you as well, sir.
I'll be right back. I'm going to mute up for a second so I can go listen into the.
You're going to go and listen to the dumpster fire, aren't you?
All right, come back. I want to play-by-play.
What is the dumpster? Or is this the
No,
Brandon's-
Australians go outside and they
I
go.
can unmute and you all can listen.
Oh my
I
God,
don't wanna- I
yeah.
don't wanna listen. No.
do it? I
Betty,
want it. What?
Betty
No.
Big Boobs and the tooth is loose.
Don't put that shit live over here.
Oh, Hain in there.
No,
Are we talking about Hain in there, girl?
Oh, I don't know. It's the Washington Warriors and the tooth that's loose. It's a long story. It goes back 5 years. We make jokes about it all the time.
Yeah.
Too
This
many
is the
dumpsters.
one that unfortunately decided that that Lee here was part of a death cult. Yeah, not even kidding.
Yeah, but her name's Starbase Brew.
Yeah.
And she's a pretty cool ass.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Wait a minute now. If these are the same people that I'm thinking you're talking about, I know they're like not the brightest bulb in the boxes as it is.
Yes, you're being nice.
Yeah.
You mean they stupid?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
No,
if
no,
you can't,
they
if you
don't make
can't
it
follow, if these are this the same individuals that can't seem to follow a simple GPS and find themselves on
No, I think you're
No,
the
talking
wrong side of the
no.
tracks, or are we talking about?
Those people are smarter than the people we're talking about are. The people
Holy.
unfortunately, they're so delusional and mentally ill, they actually believe that there's this secret conclave cabal deep state of people who trust the plan.
Oh boy.
And then they start talking about future-proofing past and things like Operation Looking Glass, and
Oh boy. That's.
they start talking about their furry friends and the flirting flat
A
earthers.
few of which like to come fly by here and play funny fuckers with us occasionally.
Wow. Now that sounds rather.
when they do it.
That sounds actually rather entertaining. I'm sorry I'm missing it all. It sounds like a regular parade.
Now you're a part of the game now.
Am I?
Yeah.
Anyway, if you're okay, the thing is, if you get on YouTube, Jiggy knew this. Jiggy and Smoke King have known this since day one.
Oh, they're so protective. No wonder I didn't hear about it.
Well, but that's what I'm saying is they know it's Sparta. And they know that it's doing to others as you would have done under you. And that's where I've always respected Smoke King and Jiggy, because they don't cross that line.
Yeah.
They might troll someone a little bit. They might drag him a little bit because they said some stupid shit and then did an interview with someone else that was stupider than the person they did the original interview with.
Yeah.
Dude, you don't see us like pick random people like every week and just drag people and just do shit, which is what we've been accused of, which is hilarious.
Yeah.
It's like it's not even like that. Most of our conversations are usually about the same people or other shit. You know, it's not like we're just picking.
I think that's where a lot of the confusion got with the crossovers, because the names that you guys were saying is the same that a bunch of other people say in their channels.
Yeah.
But like this, that's where they get called the Herb Dick Riders, to be PC about the people who like the watermelon slides and the glass bottom boat.
Yeah.
So I got to go there every time because
I know you do, dear.
They love to go as skanky and as gross as they can, just because they're trolling in the YouTube. That's what it's trolling. That's trolling. That's no.
But some of them that you see though, they are skanky and all that shit. Though.
Oh yeah, when they got 30 stock accounts because they're just trying to make sure that, you know, I don't know. Like I said, they're just trying to have fun and play around. But again, they're so obsessed that they're understanding if they're just mentally ill or just obsessed is kind of insane when you see that their avatars on their stock accounts talk the same and it crosses into other chat rooms and they're so pissed off because they've been blocked by A, B, and C people that they're now talking to D, E, and F people trying to get back at A, B, and C people. So the crossover again there was kind of interesting. And like I said, that's why I noticed it a couple of years back. We talked about it at the convention. Once the people learned about the LARPy land language, they started talking about the LARPy land language and not realizing that they were perpetuating the LARPy landness.
Making shit worse.
Yep.
Wow.
And then they start talking about being sad fish and don't gaslight me, man. I might get my feces hurt again and have to go sit in the corner and cry about it because I'm such a snowflake.
Oh, okay,
and
so
of course you upset one of them, and then not only do you have them and their 30 sock accounts, but you have their little boyfriends that come by in their little Vespers to try and, you know, in the ass as well.
They're not even on Vespers; they're on scooters.
I would just strap on.
No, they're on Vespa.
So you know,
they're literally on Vespas. They got little sidecars for little
sidecars.
Yeah,
the little gimp boys. Yep.
If they don't behave,
and the occasional, you know, blue ball yeti, but you know.
Well, damn.
Look at his Billy and a no bowl Yeti squad.
That's it.
I'm just here for the comments.
Obviously, I am too today.
Well, you know, it might be worthwhile you having a little look into it because some of those very people are up in your chat here quite regularly.
Once again, Charlie, they're not. Again, we're going to be PC.
I'm just okay.
Walk it back a little bit. Walk it back. Walk it back here.
Fuck you. I'm not in the mood today to be walking anything back. And I'm really fucking pleasant to that particular gentleman. I don't put him in the sidecar and bend him over, which I possibly should occasionally.
The
But,
truth
you
shall
know,
set you free.
that's it.
Yeah. Oh, yes. Yes, it is. And the screenshots will come back around and bite you in the ass in the long run, too. But again,
That's why I say as much as I need to say, if that.
and I say too much, knowing full well that moments of silence can be very hard for some people to handle sometimes.
I just don't want to get into it with everybody because everybody's not going to be able to handle the way I get into shit. Like, I'm just not.
Oh, what's again? I know.
Hey, look, I hear you, Jiggy. Look, believe me, for 5 years ago, I had a problem and I ghosted. And I got rid of all my accounts. I started a new one. Everything was fine. I kept quiet. I've never had my photo on here. I've never had my name on here. I've never had my fucking voice on here till when I got doxxed 6 months ago. And that left me in no place but to come on and try and defend myself and to call out the fuckery. And I should have done it years ago, simply because I could see what was going on around me and how people were being hurt. But it wasn't affecting my personal life. Well, it fucking affects my personal life now and that of my kid. And to see that it's being perpetuated the way that it is, with so few people with enough moral integrity or backbone or balls or whatever the fuck it is to call it out when they see it, it disgusts me.
It's not going to happen because most of these people are down with that shit. A lot of people are down with that type of bullshit.
They're not, though. They're not.
That's
Once again, I will try one day to do my best to explain why there's certain people running around on the interwebs talking about a death cult out of Boston.
Yeah.
And why I'm the leader of this cult.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. You come to Boston all the time, Lee.
Again, my cohort.
First of all, just to anybody who thinks that, if you think Lee comes to Boston and he's not fucking hanging out with us, then you're bugging. The first place he would be on Paranormal. We would go live. Exactly.
You just don't know the narrative there with Denise and Betty and Winter Moon and this lady who thinks her daughter was murdered when her daughter overdosed. So it's a real story. Like I said, it's a 10-year-old story. There's over 500 people doxxed. CPS has been called, and it does cross into every pocket of YouTube right now since certain people found out about that story a few years back and started going over and following these people, not knowing that their mental health and what they were talking about had to do with targeted individuals and secret space programs and sex slaves on Mars. And yes, Robert David Steele and other people like that are included.
Yep.
So if you don't get, some names are important to understand, and some names are grifters and conners running around lying about certain things. You might get triggered by mentioning the Good Gaiac lawsuit and other sillinesses out there, with remote viewing of the dildos. Excuse me.
in the dreams and everything else.
Oh, I had a dream about that adrenochrome. It's so good.
I have dreams. All I do is write down. I'm an avid dreamer. Even as much weed as I smoke, I dream a lot. And the thing about it, though, to be able to write down your dreams daily, and your dreams are so detailed. Oh, get the fuck out of here with all that shit.
Dude, remember the movie Dreamscape? Where that little kid was jumping in dreams and the lizard people.
And the bad guy was the guy from the Warriors.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It's Dennis. What's his name? Is the main character.
You guys are way better at that.
Dennis
Quaid. Yes, Dennis Quaid. Yeah, I think it's Dennis Quaid, isn't it?
Yep.
Yeah, it's not. It's definitely not Randy.
I've never seen it until Buddy Lee showed me a thing on it the other day.
Oh, I've watched that movie. I mean, back in the day, that movie, yeah.
And I'm like, it's so obvious, like it's really bad CGI and stuff that still scared the shit out of me.
But that's a lot of these people's premise for where they got the ideas for shit. It's like if you watch these movies and then you hear these people tell these stories. Lee, you've said it yourself. I still am an avid movie watcher. I love movies, always have. And when they start talking this shit, I'm like, yo, that's Buck Rogers. That's Dreamscape. That's fucking, what's the fuck? Star Blazers. There was cartoons we used to watch. It's Force 5. It's all this shit.
Cylons. Come on, the Cylons are going to invade any day.
I know, any day now. Yeah. And especially if they got into the new Battlestar Galactica, because it's a whole different spin in a sense on the other one because they take it further than the original.
Well, Babylon 5 is a good narrative, but then you got Stargate, and then
Star Wars, Star Trek,
Hollywood Decoded.
All these portals all over the world, and no one's ever. Listen, if I promise you, I'm going to tell y'all now.
I've seen one. Well,
if I find a portal, I'm going to videotape myself walking through it live, and then come back out with something and be like, "Look, I went through a portal. Okay, it's real." But until then, yeah, okay.
I came out of the portal, and then a doctor spanked me on my butt. I cried about it. I can see the light. And then I was recruited.
It's glorious.
I was recruited into the Galactic Federation.
Yeah, remember our recruitment, Lee? Yeah.
Boot camp was
it's horrible. We did boot camp on a planet we can't even tell you about.
Oh, actually, those the FOIA requests are coming through now, so we may be able to talk about Planet JiGGYS.
Yeah, we have to wait because we can only say it when it's allowed to be said.
Well, like I said, we did start our secret cannabis grow up there, so we're gonna be bringing back some killer buds one day.
Ain't nothing like space weed, son.
Well, make sure you swing past my place.
No, you're gonna have to come visit us. I'm not coming to
import tariffs and make all the Galactic Federation judges happy with payoffs. It's gonna take us a little bit to get this operation to full swing.
Mm-hmm.
Sounds awesome.
Jiggy, I gotta ask you a question. Whenever you wake up, do you ever wake up irritated because you didn't get to finish the shit you were doing in your dream?
Sometimes, but I am also capable of going back and having the same dream, finishing my dreams.
That has happened to me. I'll wake up irritated because I didn't get my shit finished in my dream.
Oh, you wanted someone to push your shit in?
Not that kind of shit. No, my agenda, the things I was doing. I've actually woken up irritated.
You had your pushed it. Ooh.
Yikes.
Clearly, I'm the only person that saw Training Day.
Never mind.
You didn't see the movie Training Day with Denzel Washington?
Of course.
There was the part where there's these 4 gangbangers and shit, and the dude's like, "You're gonna get your shit pushed in. You never had your shit pushed in." Oh yeah, I've had my shit pushed in. You're like, yeah, no. Like, okay.
Yeah, no.
Alrighty then.
Good response.
Yeah, no. I speak in movie codes.
Yes, you do, sir.
I just have that kind of mind. Again, that's why I love it, because I'm like X-Men, Avengers, obscure comic books that I read. I'm like, these motherfuckers aren't even creative at all. I mean, Hollywood's not very creative.
An Army vet who was kicked out for mental illness.
Well, Disney or the other companies, Paramount.
All of them.
With all this stalking, why does people stalk?
Man, don't get that motherfuckers coming over here with their bullshit, Lee. They don't want. I don't play them games. I don't.
I just want to hear that the ladies are getting a little bit. That's
it's okay. I was just jumping over there to have a little look.
Okay. Spill the beans, Jolly. What the hell are we talking about? Is this the link right here in the chat?
Oh, no. Dex was asking whereabouts Lee and I are. So that's just tonight,
our little ranting and raving lunacy today that we did and twiggered the sugar shine and the cactuses out there.
Well, we didn't do. Lee did some ranting and raving. I did some giggling. So,
Yo, I have CW so triggered, even in his own.
Good.
Did he do any chanting while he was at it?
No, he really thinks that I'm upset that he hasn't come on here. I'm like, dude, I'm just fucking with you. I just go in his live chat and shit. Hashtag, CW doesn't get
warmed up.
I know you're a big boy.
Well, he should be here right now. I don't care what time it is.
Oxgate issues. Huh?
He's lucky I don't have a fax. If I still had a fax, it'd be on. It would be on.
That. And I got a fax in my dad's office I can use.
Yeah, I haven't had a fax in years. I used to have a fax in my office.
Send him a picture of my anus.
What?
Oh.
Classy. I got a secret colony you can settle.
What up, Willie? Happy Father's Day to you as well, brother.
Hey, Willie.
Hey,
Will, I'm recovering from fucking Canopy Lake. I got surprised at taking to Canopy Lake. Good Lord.
What's Canopy Lake?
I told you it's the park that I went to. That the grandbaby and it was with her and spent the day, and we had a great day at the park.
See,
it's like one of the very few parks that still remain around here. We used to have.
I only fly up to do my rituals and get my training on up there in Boston, and come back down here.
Yeah, you don't even fly into Logan. You fly into the New Hampshire airport or like Worcester or whatever, so you could be obscure.
I thought he did the. Oh, okay. I thought you took the unicorn, but okay.
It's okay. Train.
He flies a Pegasus, but no one's supposed to know that. Okay.
Yeah. It's actually a unicorn, and we all know about it because it's.
No, it's a Pegasus. Hello.
It's actually really not, but okay.
Put a rainbow thing on Pegasus when we're flying through the portals, so that.
Okay, I'm going to check with Jenny what it is.
The other ones don't start attacking me again. The cloaking device got broken in the last mission.
They were following me all around the park, Lee. They were everywhere, scouting me. They got to the park ahead of me. You know,
gotta be careful. Those men in black, they might come back up there with their neuralizer and mind wipe you again.
Yeah, they can try.
Training all over again.
It doesn't work anymore.
Well, I forget who's training who here.
Mm-hmm.
Who's training who? Who's handling who?
What?
Oh my goodness!
We all know that you're a handler, Jolly. Come on.
I do like to handle things.
Yeah, we know you in 6 jobs. I'm a little nervous over here.
Oh, that's what they say. They're not nervous. Goodness me.
It's all right because Drew J, the opposite is like sometimes Jolly says stuff and I have to ask like, what does that even mean? So it's the same effect. I'm sure if you ever want to come on live, Drew J, you come on live, it'd be the same thing. I think it's awesome, like the different accents and stuff. And people say you learn shit. It's a good way to learn vernacular.
When I first started doing some stuff 4 years ago, Flo, Wavy, they were Scottish and English people. Oh my God. I was like, okay, you guys got to start speaking Americanese because I know you're speaking English.
Dumb it down.
But then speaking American English so I can understand over here.
You're gonna have to speak American, motherfuckers, all right? That Queen's English shit, we don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, unfortunately, I had to learn what taking a piss and pulling a piss means.
Pulling a piss.
I was like, we thought you guys were going to the bathroom and stuff over there. I didn't know y'all were talking.
Just pulling the piss, Lee.
We're gonna go to the loo.
I used to get weird responses from you.
What the fuck is a loo?
What the fuck is pulling a
It's just
piss?
a toilet.
I know it's a toilet. I'm just saying, like that's just weird.
Yeah,
fucking smack.
down in the loo.
Yeah, pulling the piss.
Pulling the piss is just, you know.
Wait.
talking
Pulling the
about
piss sounds
someone.
like jerking off.
Once again, if you want to choke the chicken and make him blue or flick the bean, it's your prerogative. This is a safe space for everybody.
Oh, pump the brakes, homie. All right, relax.
Not a chance in hell, G.
You didn't know that the safe word is pineapple juice.
There are
Pineapple
safe
juice.
words
No, it's
anyway.
purrs. It's purrs.
Bingo.
As Rick Ross said, it's purrs.
Purse.
Oh, that's a fake mace.
He's supposed to. He's saying
not wrong.
pears, but he's saying purrs.
The security guard from the jailhouse, Ricky Ross, who stole the freeway, Ricky Ross's name to get
I know.
famous off of.
I know.
Oh,
Oh.
Maybach music.
Maybach music. Dude, that's one of the funniest stories in hip hop. Like, I just like, how do you all accept that? I know Noriega, he owes me 100. If you knew Manuel Noriega, it's because he was in the prison that you were a guard at, okay? That's why he owes you 100 favors, because you were helping him get his conjugal visits and all his contraband and shit. Like, get the fuck out of here.
Goodness me.
He knows. He knows.
You know, I know, especially when it comes to hip hop. Like, dude, like it.
You know how much about Master Pay.
There's motherfuckers who I've done security for, met, hung out with, everything, who are real motherfuckers. But there's a whole lot of fake shit too, though. I mean, it's just the music industry is just Hollywood, just with music to it.
A&Rs, I understand what you're saying again, very, 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 very well. But I also know about the difference between Young Money, Cash Money, and 50 Cent and his gang.
Oh yeah, they're gangs, exactly. But hey, remember something about them too, though. They learned all that shit. They were taught all that shit. All the shit that they do, they were taught that bullshit.
The tooth is loose. She's losing her shit.
Is she really?
Motherfucker. It's just priceless. Oh, sorry.
Did somebody lose a tooth or something? Does somebody have no teeth? What's going on here?
Okay, Jolly, you got to share with the class just a little bit.
I'm sorry. Oh, it's just way too hard to explain. But, yeah, she's just got this one tooth on the bottom that glistens in
I'll
the
help you.
sunlight.
Six Drops.
Please.
Go to YouTube. And
Okay.
Denise Mateo.
Hang on, I'll grab you the link, all right?
Thank you, Mama. Thank you, Mama. About time, dear.
You better send that shit to her on Facebook or something, though.
Oh.
I'll get rid of it in a minute, all right?
All right.
There you go, Six Drops. Grab that, and you got 10 seconds.
Okay. Well, why am I not seeing it?
It's in the YouTube chat room.
It's in the
That's what I
YouTube chat.
thought. Oh, there I see her.
You gotta wait for the Aussie lag to come through because she's
Okay.
down there.
I got it. You can delete it.
I can get rid of it. I can.
Once again, this
Yes,
is
you can
Radio.
get rid of it.
And,
There you
okay,
go.
so you've got on your right side, the lady in the darker colors is
There's Betty Washington.
Warrior.
She's a very pretty lady.
And then the other
usually
one-
she's got her testicles right out. But
Yeah.
anyway.
Johnny, come on, they're new. They're new. I don't need your lot lizard mouth in the matter right now.
Oh, come on. I said testicles.
And then I see an abuelita, a star-based
well, when
bruja.
it comes
That's
in
the lady.
close-
That's the one who started this thing about this cult stuff
Boston
because
Death
of a guy named Hassan and Rick Ross and some other people. So, like I said, it's the craziest story. I found out about it because she started talking about me. Literally, I went on another YouTuber's channel, and because I went on a channel with someone else, this lady started out, and like I said, that's why there's this whole.
Jolly, send me a private link to that, please.
All right. Okay.
Hey, I want to get in now.
I want to get in on the
Hey, I'm a Boston boy. I want to know about all this shit. I'm Boston born.
T
and
is
fucking
T,
bred.
baby.
Like her daughter passed away when she was at Boston University, and
Oh,
her
that's a
daughter
shame.
were very estranged.
Wait. Was this like a big story or something? Like
It's-
news and everything?
Have you ever heard of the Lincoln? What did she call it, Jolly, with her cousin, the murders?
Sorry,
Huh?
what was that, hun?
Okay. Tooth's cousin or brother was that murdered the Lincoln Park 7 or something like that. What's it called?
Oh, yeah, it was the Lincoln Park 7.
It is Lincoln Park 7. Okay, cool. Have you
yeah.
ever heard of that, Jiggy?
Wait,
Oh,
where's
the
Lincoln
Lennox
Park?
7. Lennox 7. Lennox 7, I think it is. LENOX.
No,
Yeah.
I know Lincoln Park, the
And
band.
they got where did they
that's
get
about it.
murdered at though? Where they got murdered in Massachusetts?
Oh God. Okay.
Boston.
Lennox. and
Oh, hang on, I'll go. I can't believe I don't know this off the top of my head. Like I should know this, given the amount of times I've Lennox 7.
I don't know how to spell Lennox 7.
I assume it might be LENNOX.
Yeah, okay. Tragedy for 9 families. There we go. The Lennox 7. The
Wow,
East End
good.
murders.
How close was I?
Drop that in the freaking charts. I've never seen that one before.
Okay, hang on a minute.
See, this is hilarious because Jolly and I have come at this from 2 different angles, actually. And she has to keep me from losing my mind too far off the rails. And keep her from barking at every Tom, Dick, and Harry that comes along.
Hey, come on, I don't bark.
I know. Just her softly.
Drew J. I don't either.
Sometimes I bark. Yeah, the Lennox 7. There you go. That's the link to that.
And Drew J, the way that Biden speaks, he speaks in that almost mostly calm tone to try to keep you calm and like that grandfather voice, like it's supposed to be the reasonable voice. That's his accent. That's the way he speaks. He's from Delaware. Delaware doesn't really have an accent. I've lived in Delaware. They don't really have any. They're just, first off, you haven't been to Delaware. You can drive through the whole fucking state in like 15 fucking minutes. It's the second smallest state in the country because I think Rhode Island is actually the smallest state in the country.
I live in Connecticut.
You what?
I used to live in Connecticut.
Oh, what part?
Westbrook.
Okay, I have family all over Connecticut. My family reunions used to all be down there, and so New London, and then there's what's the one right before the fucking
Old
casino?
Saybrook.
No, shit, come on, brain. Oh, yeah, never mind. I'm not gonna fucking rack my brain. It'll come to me.
Yeah, there's so many of those freaking weirdo ass names up there.
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of New England states have old Native American names too. That's why they're Native American words or names or named after
Mixed
people.
in with the New English.
Yeah, exactly. They didn't get rid of all of it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
They kept some of it.
Well, that's when I was looking into that burned over district and how a lot of the new religious movements specifically come from the burned over district up there with Quinn Fisbee and all that stuff there with the Seventh-day Adventist stuff. So, yeah, it's freaking great history if you know about how our country was formed and how we migrated west and basically genocided out a whole bunch of people that were in our way.
Basically, we slaughtered everything in our way, in our path.
Well, which is the Mexican American.
That happens in every country.
I mean, it's nothing
look what
new.
happened down here.
It's nothing new. Period. That's the whole thing. Like you can point fingers, but if you look at the world, everybody's been slaves. Everybody has dealt with another fucking country or foreign force trying to come into their land, take their land, impose their will, impose their religion, impose their beliefs, whatever. It's happened all over this planet. There's very few places on this planet that have not been touched by that type of stuff. That's just really what it is. Everybody just wants to say, oh, poor me. This is what I'm going through because your country teaches you what has gone on in your country to an extent. You only, whoever the victor is, the victor gets to tell the story. And you can tell that story whatever slant, whatever fucking way possible you can. And that's how people are supposed to believe. You're supposed to believe that this is the exact history. They don't even know the history of the world. They know the history of the world that's been told by human beings who have egos, who always seem to implement themselves somewhere along the lines. Oh, I was this, I was that, I was Jesus, whatever. Jesus could have just been a dude who was just a smooth talking motherfucker. Who just
Joseph, to be honest.
What do you say?
You're getting into contentious issues.
I know.
The second coming of our Lord and Savior. Yeah, let me go get my.
Oh no!
Stop blowing my horn. The beast of the abyss come out and eat.
Oh shit! No.
Hallelujah.
Yo, the crazy thing is, from the moment that I can remember people talking about religion in the real world, putting it together, can I remember them always talking about Revelations and how the world's about to end. There's not a point in my 51 years on this planet, except for when I was a kid and wasn't like this stuff wasn't a part of my brain, anything like that, that I haven't thought that the world was supposed to end based on the shit that people tell you. Because it's always, they're always so fucking paranoid.
Well, once again, since the beer didn't show up in 2012, or did, and we're all in purgatory now.
Right.
Or maybe, there's a great Mandela effect and we're all just living a nostalgia time loop. Yeah, you saw it.
So you're saying this is all our lives flashing before all our eyes?
Within a thing? It's not real.
Oh.
It's a dream.
Within a dream.
Oh no.
Well, technically it's a nightmare.
Well, it might be a wet dream for some.
Oh.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Wait, who still gets wet dreams? Come on, you grown motherfuckers.
Once again, you withhold yourself from the earthly pleasures.
I mean, I know I've caused some wet dreams, but you know.
Oh my goodness.
My damn therapist won't stop stalking me. Dang it.
Ooh.
But we all have to pay for the sins of our past.
Lee, one thing I've learned,
Nobody's perfect.
Unless it's death or something else, they never go away.
Woohoo!
They never go away.
Out of curiosity, how much have you, or you know about the Nubian Nation stuff, right?
The Nubian Nation?
The Nubian Nation with Dr. York out of New York. That one with Atlanta with that Tokum stuff that influenced hip hop music.
Maybe not. Or maybe I do. I'm high. I've been high all damn day.
Actually, it was stuff I stumbled upon years back. Someone else started talking to me about. He's like, just Google Nubian Nation, and like I said, it's the 5% kind of.
Oh yeah, what do you call themselves? The Black Israelites.
Black Hebrew Israelites. Yeah.
Right, yeah. Okay. I do. Well, I know a lot about them. Period. I've dealt and talked to them and all kinds of shit, arguments with them.
I love getting there. So I'm the white devil. Woo!
And you, brother, aren't even a true 5%. What the fuck? All right, so let me get this straight. So black people, you telling us that black people this, that, and the third, and how we're all, but then only 5% of us are like, okay, if you say so.
Then they start dropping the one drop rule to you, and
I know, yeah. I'm like, leave me alone with that bullshit. Yeah, okay.
What, they don't do that with China and with Mexico?
This is what you refer to as this is what you refer to mostly as black on black crime. It's just verbal. It's just more like a verbal lashing of you're not black enough. You know,
So,
and it has
yeah.
nothing to do with necessarily your skin tone, like me being say a lighter black person. This is just about certain, like, you're not connected to this, you don't have this in you, you're not, you weren't raised, you weren't stuck. Like, okay, I get it.
Oh wow. You're not pure enough or something.
Yeah, there's always people who think that, but no matter what race it is, there's always race who think that they're, you know.
Which bloodline were you born into?
Oh, roll. Here we go.
Doing the 12 bloodlines of the Illuminati?
No, actually, see, I'm from the 21th bloodline that they don't know about. See, they only think.
Oh, you're okay. I thought
I'm just a dorky ass mutt. That's all I am, just a dorky ass mutt.
Yeah, I'm a bitzer too. You know, what are you going to do?
You know, hey.
Does anybody even truly know what they are? The idea that people base their genealogy on fucking random tests that they send in the fucking mail and allowing some random company somewhere
enough money to send.
Exactly. They can tell you whatever they wanted to tell you.
Taking the computer stuff out of the DNA research, blah blah blah. When you look into the haplogroups and the missing link stuff between Cro-Magnon, Neanderthal, and the Homo sapien with Homo novalis, it is actually a very interesting discussion. Except for you're going to run into one issue there that's very temperamental and divisive for the female class.
What's that?
Rh negative stuff, which I don't get.
Oh, okay.
You mean the alien blood?
Well, I'm just like the whole thing, though. It's just from the very stem of the, conversation. They're like, well, if you're not pure enough, I'm like, well, even if, who has a choice? It isn't like, gee, I think I'll be born 100% pure, whatever, Spaniard, Moorish, whatever. You don't have that choice to be born with that genealogy.
That's what I get. That's what I'm saying. I'm proud of where I'm from. But it doesn't make me who I am either. I'm sorry for what I am. I'm a redneck from Tulsa, Oklahoma. Hi. But I don't like people blaming me on that because of where I was born.
How many people did you kill in 100 years ago, Lee? How many people did you kill 100 years ago?
Well, luckily my family wasn't living here, but
no, I said you because I know you're a time traveler.
Have a good day.
I was up on top of Stovepipe Hill with the freaking rattling. Yeah, you might understand. I might know a lot more about the history of the dick and stuff here.
You should. I hope you do.
Once again, I'm glad that they're finished with the Memorial Museum and the Zionist Church and all that stuff with the Underground Railroad. Is actually a very fascinating history. But yeah, unfortunately, there were too many were killed, and not enough were reported killed in the whole massacre that happened.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that they're doing the research and going to start doing digs here. And, like I said, a lot of people don't know that 100 years ago. Like I says, I understand it because it was in 1919, it was the Red Summer. And then through into 1921, when the porters and the Unionists on the train stuff, like I said, they built up a very prestigious neighborhood here in Oklahoma.
Exactly 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
I didn't know anything about any of this, and I saw something on Twitter, and Lee and I started talking about it and spent heaps of
Lee,
time
you know about Seneca Village?
Through a lot of this stuff. It's a fascinating.
How impressive!
It's heartbreaking, but fascinating.
And the whole bloody Kansas stuff. Yeah, unfortunately, like I said, because my parents are from this area. I actually looked. Like I said, I actually had to go and do I had a friend of mine, dad, who's into genealogy. And he did it for me. I didn't go through the other computer stuff, but I was actually being specific. Like, I want to see if I have any KKK or other stuff.
Well, do you have any Negro blood in you, Lee?
It forces me to ask.
Yes.
Lee, what is the best one to get?
What do you mean?
DNA genealogy
Nothing
test.
online.
Once again, 23andMe. Like I said, there's two main groups of people that do this stuff. Unfortunately, they're both Mormons. So you're giving your DNA data to a religious organization. But again, it doesn't really matter. They're looking for the missing link and the Buddha Maitreya person. So not sure you're. And so
you'll never find me.
I was curious because I have a very good friend who was adopted, and they was curious, and they want, I was.
If they're looking for their birth parents.
I don't know.
Like, if in an adoption or something like that, you would want to hire a private investigator to go through your birth records and do Freedom of Information Acts there. Genealogy tests wouldn't do anything for a person in that situation.
Yeah.
Well, only that's not true.
Unless one of your
relatives,
immediate
right?
family members have had theirs done, and they happen to be registered through, I don't know, criminal records or, you know.
Well, even if they're registered through the same thing, if they also say
Yeah.
23 for me, for example, if you're registered on there, it will automatically link them together.
Right. Yeah.
It creates the family tree.
Like I said, my DNA is registered. So
No, mine only is with the cops.
I have no idea what.
I'm a bad boy in Texas when I got out of my blood for me to keep my DNA on record.
Yeah, they kept mine too.
I joined the military, so Lord knows what.
They got yours. They got yours too.
See, that's what I'm saying. I joined the military. Lord knows what they got on me.
Well, it says you're the guinea pigs for the vaccinations and the shots and stuff they like to do.
You're lucky you didn't sprout an antenna or anything weird.
Well, actually, I'm not like it is.
Who didn't say I didn't?
I'm actually kidding.
Once again, the golf syndrome stuff. There were a lot of people that came back from the
It's
golf.
very real.
Yeah.
Nerdy. Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, she was in the Navy, you know, anything could have happened to her.
In the Navy.
You
have a little.
Okay. I got a tune in my head immediately too.
You can sail the 7 seas.
Yeah, I won't sing for you.
You can put your mind at ease.
Interesting fact, I've actually done security for the Village People.
Really?
We want you. We want you. We want you.
One time.
And how did that go?
It was fine.
This is a story I really want to hear.
I mean, I've done security for all kinds of shit, so nothing really, you know.
Any good tips?
Yeah, did you get to party with the boys?
No.
No? Oh.
They weren't partiers anyways. I mean, this is in the 90s, so even at that point, they were just touring to make money. They didn't even all get along and shit. They had like a couple of them had separate, what do you call it, dressing rooms and shit, and they just didn't really all get along as a band.
I'll be damned.
The cop, I believe, is guy. No, I believe he's the one. He's not the original cop, and he was one of the ones who was like just adamantly like he performs with them, but at the time, unless everything is cool now, he didn't really seem grooved with everybody.
Huh.
I can see that.
Sorry, what was that, Lee?
I guess that when I was the copper one, like says it, you could see in some of their videos that they didn't get along. I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I mean, a lot of bands don't get along. You could see it, you know, just especially when you spend years. I mean, they've spent a good portion of their lives, even at this point, probably still doing tours together and making money. You don't necessarily grow together. You know, you actually try to grow apart because your lives become separate than the lives you had as a band when you were younger and spent all your fucking time together.
Yeah. Let's try to get Brian Wilson to come on with us, Charlie. You know Charlie Wilson?
Oh, yeah.
Gap Band?
Yeah, of course. Shit, I've seen the Gap Band live.
Brian.
Shit, this is back in that was back in the 80s too.
That says if you saw them back then, I'm jealous because like I said, I didn't get to see them until later when I was in my teens and I went saw them one time.
My neighbor across the street from me, he was an executive for a record company, but he also was best friends with one of the most popular disc jockeys here in Boston back in the day, Sonny Joe White. And Sonny Joe White they would just give me tickets to all kinds of shit, whatever, like just randomly, like, yo, you want to go to a concert? Take a couple of your friends, like, here's fucking go see Whitney Houston, go to this, go to that. So even when I was younger, before I got into security doing stuff, and my uncle who was a promoter, I was going to concerts when I was really, really young and just having a great fucking time.
Yeah, one of my buddies growing up when he was 15 years old, I actually was away at boarding school, but at 15, he went on a school trip to a radio station and somehow stayed afterwards and talked himself into an internship there.
Nice.
A year later,
wow.
got a job as a DJ. Yeah.
It's a good way to do it if you want to. If you don't, because I mean, most of the disc jockeys and stuff that I know and people who work at the radio stations, other than usually most of the, what do you call them? The engineers haven't gone to school for this stuff. Like they didn't go to, what do you call it? There's a particular school, broadcasting school. They're broadcasters by default. They just kind of learned and hung around other DJs or did things at the radio stations and got into it. It's a smart way to do it because that's really what the industry is built on.
Oh, he had to teach me how to, when I would call in to win the tickets, you know, we had set it up and he was like, no, you can't call in. I'll act all like this. You got to just act normal and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, okay. Yeah, we got a lot of free tickets to go to a bunch of different shows that way.
Oh,
Yeah.
that sounds cool.
It's awesome, man. I feel bad for anybody who loves music that's never been to a concert. It's the one part of all the security shit that I truly enjoy doing, because when you're in a nightclub and you're in those situations when it's liquor and people's attitudes and all that type of stuff, there's not really anything good that goes on. People aren't really celebrating. It may look like they are, but most of them aren't. But when you go to a concert, people celebrate.
Yeah.
They celebrate the music. They celebrate the camaraderie, the time together, the love of the bands, whoever you're listening to, whatever rap, whatever the fuck it is. And it's just a whole different environment. And it's something I learned when I was younger, because I would go to these concerts and just be blown away by seeing, these people on stage. And this was people performed. I mean, I've seen Earth, Wind, and Fire when Earth, Wind, and Fire was doing magic and crazy shit on the stage.
Oh, wow.
They used to be into some insane stuff. I mean, I've partied and hung with. My first concert I ever went to, what was I, 7, 8 years old?
Wow.
And it was P-Funk, Parliament Funkadelic.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Wow.
Dude, I am jealous.
My 47th. So here's the crazy thing about it. They're actually my friends. So on my 47th birthday, which was it just happened to fall on my birthday that they came to the House of Blues Boston. And I celebrated my fucking birthday on stage, smoking weed, chilling, having a great fucking time with them. It was a 40-year anniversary. The first time I saw a fucking P-Funk concert. It's insane.
Get this, my first concert, Vet Memorial, the Kinks. My last concert, Vets Memorial, 2014. So far that is Fleetwood Mac, 4th row back.
Okay. You want to hear something really kind of funny?
What?
You know that King song Lola?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I've actually seen them play that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
I didn't even know what that song
Lee
was about
is
until a
about
few
to
years
tell
ago.
you something.
Yeah.
What about it, Bob?
Proceed, Lee.
Go ahead, Lee.
That's my uncle.
That's your uncle?
Uh-huh.
Lola?
Wait, like Lola or the person
Lola.
singing?
No.
Oh,
Lola is your uncle?
Yes.
Yeah.
Rock on! For
That's
real?
awesome.
So when people run around calling him a homophobe and things like that, it's
Right.
a little bit fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
But
it's
you
kinda
know,
good.
My Uncle George would get drunk on wild turkey. His Lola side would come out, and he was at school in LA, at art school there, and met the lead singer, and they dated for a little while. And that's where the song came out of.
That's because Lee,
Oh
I didn't even
my
I've known that song since I was for a long time. But it wasn't
yeah.
until a few years ago that I actually listened to the words, and I was like, "Oh, okay, that makes sense. I get it."
Yeah.
now."
yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was just a teenager listening to
Yep.
the Kinks' Lola. Best song, one of my favorite Kinks songs ever. And you, oh wow. And you actually are related to the real Lola? Is that what you're telling me?
Yep.
No shit, for
Yeah.
real.
Yes, for real.
No shit.
Wow.
Supposedly one of their
Big mind blown
things,
emoji right
samples
over my
together
face.
that he had signed from them in his memorabilia stuff, but it's up in Kansas. And that's,
How cool is that? I am fangirling big time, dude. That is so cool.
yeah, that's kind of a neat
Wow.
thing in my house, because I didn't know. Because I used to my uncle's gay growing up, and my mom was kind of, that's my little brother, very overprotective of her little brother, of course. So, but he had to go through the whole AIDS epidemic scare stuff, and he didn't have an easy life. But back then, it was the homophobia back then. He used to get beat up, and his own dad beat him up for the fear, I guess. I don't really understand it that well, because that's one of the things I can never understand in life is people hating someone for being different.
Thanks for giving me time to gush, but that is so super cool.
Oh, it's okay. I had exactly the same response when I heard about it.
But the crazy thing about it too, Lee, after all that, going through life, you have a fucking song written about you that everybody fucking knows.
Fucking
it's a beautiful tribute in a sense too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, because I'm really proud of my my aunt and my uncle from my mom's side of the family were both very influential in moving the ball forward and the equal rights there. My
immortalized in song.
Ooh.
Hey Lee, if
Very
it makes you feel better, I've been accused of being a homophobe.
that doesn't even bother me. Really.
I've been accused of being a transphobe. I'm like, okay, yeah. If you say so.
Which is when, and I did 3 years ago when the pronouns came out.
Hi, Philip.
I really tried to be very
God.
respectful of that stuff, but then they started doing the they them, and I'm like, how can you be a they them? You're an individual, and that's where I just try to be respectful. I do. But some people are so vernacular sensitive about how you discuss certain topics that you just, I started noticing it a while back, like there's this, you know what BIPOC is, right?
BIPOC?
Yep.
Yeah. BIPOC, Black Indigenous People of Color.
Yeah, okay.
So once again, it's something I didn't know about. Someone used the acronym. I just asked what it stood for, and I was like, "Oh, okay, Black Indigenous." So I giggled it, and I was like, "Wow."
Wait, so those are supposed to be the Black Native Americans, right?
Black Indigenous People of Color are anyone that has non-Caucasian roots.
Got you. Because I know there's the whole thought too that most of what they consider to have been slaves or whatever, a lot of them weren't even brought from Africa. A lot of them were just born from natives.
Right. Yeah, but there's 3/5 of a man clause.
Right.
And then you know about that stuff, so.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yeah.
And then it says it's
oh beautiful. Never mind.
You know the third verse, my friend. Just kidding.
Anyways.
What about him, Drew?
What happened?
I just said, what about him, Drew?
What's up, Philip? I don't know if you're a father. If you are, happy Father's Day to you.
What? Well, actually, ask. What? Oh God, how do I ask this question?
Uh-oh.
Bluntly.
Well, it says there's Australians and then there's Aboriginal Australians.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And me and Jelly actually had this discussion about, I don't know, about a year ago. We were discussing indigenous Americans versus and legalities of those terms, even.
Yeah.
So it's the laws are very similar for both.
Yeah.
And then the treaties were all broken and they had their land stolen from them. So history again.
Yeah.
But Jelly has a little native in her.
What's his name? I'm sorry, never mind. What?
Rock on.
It depends on the day. Okay, not really. I'm not a dirty old skank anymore. No, I'm kidding. Never was.
Like that's what I say. She's been explaining this to me for a year and a half, and it is fascinating.
It's not that fascinating, but anyway.
I'm still not going to Australia.
Yeah, I have. Like, it goes down the maternal bloodline, obviously, and from my grandmother's on my mum's side, we have Curry, which is from the East Coast, and
you said Curry?
Curry,
like Curry, Curry?
No, K-O-O-R-I.
K-O-O-R. Oh, like Corey.
Curry.
Yeah.
Okay,
all right.
Yeah, this is all spelled in Swaziland language.
Yeah. But most of my cultural stuff comes from my dad's side of the family, which is Noongar, which is the West Coast. And of course, yeah. So there you go. So I've got a bit from two different tribes, and of course our convicts that came in on ships in chains.
Okay,
so
then
yeah.
it is true.
What's that?
That I was told in school a long time ago. I didn't know if it was really true because they said that back in the old days that they would send convicts to Australia because they didn't know what to do with them.
Well,
they sent them to America too.
And if you got pinched in England back in the day, they put them on convict ships and sent them out to Australia on what they call transportation. And the only thing that was here was just the land and the indigenous. And they literally, it was a penal colony.
No wonder y'all got all that crazy
came
shit
here
there.
And actually built their own jails, for want of a bit. Well, not jails, but there was literally nothing here, and life was pretty damn hard.
So basically, y'all are like Dubai. They just built a bunch of land and shit and called it Australia. That's why they say you're a fake country.
No. The land was already. The land's been here.
Bears were all hanging out, and then the colonializers came along, and
yep, the colonialists arrived, and
them colonized us.
Didn't kill, and what have you. In Tasmania, there are actually no Indigenous people in Tasmania now. because they wiped out the entire race of all the natives down there.
Wow.
Damn.
Yeah. So when people are, I mean, there's some Aboriginal people down there now, but not from any of the initial native tribes from, way back when, because they were literally all wiped out. So yeah, there you go.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Think about how many cultures throughout the world that have just been wiped out and destroyed that we don't even know about.
Yep.
Well, after the Aztecs and the Incas.
But we know about them.
Right. But a lot of subcategories in those groups disappeared.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is fascinating to look
Same in
at.
Port Arthur. Yeah.
Like, what if you
And in
found out, like in
Fremantle too,
history,
Drew.
that even the natives of all these countries weren't the natives?
But where did
Pangea.
civilization start?
What do you say?
Where did civilization start?
I don't know.
Pangea.
So you say.
Well, once again,
Why not?
Well, why so?
She predates Cro-Magnon and Neanderthal, to be honest with you.
Okay. Then after that, sometime.
No, because you are right. After the Pangea started breaking up.
No clue. Just threw a guess in there.
So, the Pangea Sea is actually a very, for me, it's a fascinating story because most people don't know that in Kansas and the Panhandle of Oklahoma and Texas and stuff, there's this huge underground salt thing that used to be like the Great Salt Lake is in Utah today. There used to be a Pangea Sea like that, and it got covered up through glaciers and years of stuff, and that's why underneath the ground in Kansas there's those salt caverns. And
aliens.
Like I said, it's really neat in Hutchinson, Kansas. There's this thing called the salt mine, and you can go and take. It's like I said, it's not even a big building, but you take an elevator shaft down half a mile, go into the salt stuff, and it's 4 miles long, 2 miles wide. Trains are down there because they've been mining salt down there for so long that it's that big. And because it's a natural environment, like I says, it's completely dry because it's salt, and it's the same temperature because it's that far underground, that they now use that to store there's tons of Hollywood memorabilia down there. All the petroleum receipts for the world are stored down there too.
How do you know that? How'd you find that out?
I used to live in McPherson, Kansas, when I was up there remodeling a house. And I went over to Hutchinson to go. I went to Hutchinson to go see this thing, this mine museum that they have there.
That's true, Drew. That's true.
How interesting.
So, yeah, which is until the 60s, really.
Yeah.
Hollywood memorabilia.
Hey, African Americans weren't allowed to eat
you never want to
ice cream.
start with me, Lee, because it sends me off the deep end every time.
A lot of people don't know that what Jiggy just said is true, but that's true in America too. But it wasn't Aboriginals; it was
African Americans.
African Americans weren't allowed to vote, and
they weren't allowed alcohol. They weren't allowed fucking vanilla ice cream. This crazy shit.
Yeah, 100 years ago, they couldn't vote. I did not like this. When I started hearing someone else telling me this, I'm like, I'm sorry. I thought I understood history because I had decent history, but yeah, there's a whole bunch of history I was not taught.
Dude, there's so much stuff that's within my parents' lifetime.
Even I was just going to say, even up until a few years ago, I don't know if it's still literally today, but up until a few years ago, there's a mining town in Western Australia called Kalgoorlie, and lots of the Indigenous come in from the desert, and up until a few years ago, and possibly even still now, the service stations or the petrol stations, gas stations, I think you call them over there, weren't allowed to sell petrol or fuel of any type to the Indigenous people unless it was actually going into a tank in their car. They weren't allowed to get fuel in a jerry can or anything like that because they might take it petrol sniffing. They weren't allowed to buy alcohol in some places in Kalgoorlie. And yet they supposedly have all the rights that the rest of us do. But that was actual law in Kalgoorlie up until at least a couple of years, or 4 years ago was the last time I saw a thing about it. And when I was working up there in the late 80s, I was absolutely horrified. I couldn't believe that was a thing. And it went on for years. Just crazy. And of course, we still have dry areas in Australia where
once
you're
again,
not allowed to have alcohol
there's
on
there's dry counties in America, a lot, actually.
Is there? I didn't know that.
Yeah, there are. Absolutely. There's dry towns.
Oklahoma, up until a year and a half, I think ago, was not above 3.2 beer was considered liquor. You can only get out of the liquor stores. You at 3 beer at the grocery. So yeah, all that changed. Drew's asking about the stolen generation, Jolly. What does that mean?
Well, basically when it was usually kids that were born usually of white fathers and black mothers, well, quite often.
Right.
But more often, I mean, there were some what they call full blood down here, which would probably be horrifying to what everybody else in the world would say. But regardless,
they use the same terms
some
here.
of these kids, they literally came in and just ripped these kids away from their tribal lands and from their mothers to put them in convents and institutions and things like that, believing they were getting an education and they would be better people and they wouldn't be savages and things like that,
right,
for want of a better word.
Same stuff they do. The Coolomp school there and stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And, you know, they were removed. I think it stopped. I mean, it was generally going on from, I think it was about 1905 or 1910 through the late 70s.
Yeah.
Which isn't very long ago.
No,
you know,
no.
when you think about it. Yeah, just heartbreaking. And, you know, they made a movie a few years back called The Rabbit Proof Fence. And these women are still alive. And it was a woman and her sister and her niece, I think it was. They came in and took these kids and took them to another state to, you know, be educated and what have you. And they escaped and they walked the rabbit-proof fence hundreds of miles to get home. And to think, I mean, they were just like, you know, 5 and 6. I think the oldest one was 11. And this 11-year-old walked those 2 little kids through the desert along the rabbit-proof fence to get them home. But, yeah, I mean...
No, Drew went to school with them. That says that's such a tragic story. There's a Trail of Tears here. Like I said, a lot of people don't know because of the erasing of history. That
whitewashing.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Put it of the indigenous schools in Americas that were, you know, like I said, people don't know that. You know what Indian scalps were worth? 5 cents. Literally, you got paid 5 cents a scalp to bring in the scalp.
Yep.
Wow.
My dad's dad ran up this Trail of Tears to get here.
I don't know much of the mom's side of the family has Cherokee in its bloodlines. I think because half breed is what they would have called him, because he was half white, half native. That the mother, who was the native, didn't want to be discriminated because they had mixed so bad that she actually left the kids on the riverbank and they kept going. And yeah, so
wow,
it was kind of a bad deal, and so many. They were called the Cherokee Freedmen. They just didn't want to sign. They were freed because of their beliefs. I don't know. Like I said, it's hard to understand.
But weren't we? Wait, isn't that the tribe that's the land that? What tribe were we? The land that Disclosure Con up there. What tribe was that? Weren't they the Cherokee tribe?
No, that was the Apache.
Oh, the Apaches. Right.
There was a. Oh God, white buffalo is what I want to say, but it's two different things. Like I said, is that a lot of people know what's known as the 5 civilized tribes, because those were the ones who signed the treaties to come to Oklahoma with the Choctaw, Cherokee, and those. Like I even can't remember them all the time because I just know a lot of names. So it's very confusing because the Iroquois, and all this other stuff, they still had reserves, even across different states up in North Dakota and stuff to this day. They, like I said, we were fighting over the pipeline stuff. A lot of people, this isn't new information here. So, you know, those land rights and the water rights and the stuff that they're fighting for, you look into it, there's a reason that they're fighting for that stuff. That goes back hundreds of years.
Well, even here, because I mean, most people don't even know about the tribes that are here that still exist. The
Burial
Wampanoag,
grounds.
the Mi'kmaq, and the Pequot. Pequot. Yeah, like those tribes, and they negotiated a lot of the stuff that was going on here because that's where these motherfuckers first landed and encountered these tribes here in New England.
Right. With the, what was it, the Massachusetts Bay colonies.
Yeah.
And then they turned into, like I said, with the trading up there with the Canadians over the pelts for beavers and stuff like that. Like I said, that was, yeah, lots of wars over that stuff. You'd be really surprised at how much it just came down to that kind of stuff.
That's why I tell people, like, they talk all this haunted shit, all these haunted places. Like, it's not going to get any worse than here. The shit that they did here was insane. It all began here. Like, they landed here and started right from the fucking beginning.
Philip listed the 5 Celeste.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
It's just not
in school, Philip. That was such a tragedy, like I said. But there were some people looking into that stuff 10 years ago. So, like I said, even though they just kind of came out with the information a little bit more now, it was known.
And Lee, in all honesty, like, it's hard to say, and I mean no disrespect at all, but I like what I saw when we were there was sad. It was not, you know, anything that I understand the history of the tribe. Like, you know, you just expect to see these strong.
Because you don't get to see the powwow. You don't get to see.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
That I
get to see the people that I've been to powwows here and stuff like that. Like,
yeah.
Absolutely. So
you see the ones living at the casinos, living off the casinos. Some of that stuff can be a little depressing.
And not even just that. Like, remember the one dude that showed up to the conference all 3 days, and he was the same dude. He would be drunk every day.
Mm-hmm.
And every day he's like, "Yo, what's going on in here? Can I?" And it wasn't an act. And then we'd be chilling and having like a fucking whatever, sitting at the fucking bar, and he's in there like, "Ah, let me buy you some drinks." And my name's so and so. I was like, "I know, dude. I met you like earlier, and I've met you 2 days ago." Like, I didn't remember shit. It's as much as I'm laughing, it was just kind of sad too, because it's just like, okay,
he wasn't the craziest one there.
Not at all. Not at all. We had man, bear, pig. We had everything there.
Once again, the Archangel Michael dude freaked me out a little bit too much.
Dude, the irony of that too is just seeing how it set the stage for so much shit.
I gotta admit, us getting that picture with Rob.
Being on stage and shit, like being like this dude, like, you know, I have no problems with what's his name, Doc Skinner, but he's like, you know, you're on the panel. I'm like, okay. Yeah, what are you called? I was like, oh, so this dude has never even watched anything Paranormal Hood.
Once again, Doc dude doesn't know much. He's not a bad guy, but he's new.
Yeah. Well, he's on all of the other side of that shit anyways. And
I don't think he ever watches. I don't think he's.
Dude, he's a fucking, what do you call it? What's the word I'm looking for? A contributor to Third Phase of Moon now.
Really?
Oh,
yeah, I've watched a few of their videos, and they have a panel of 3 different people. And he's one of the people, 3 or 4 different people, and he's one of their contributors.
Because I'll say it here now. I've said it to people for 2 years now. Be careful who you tie your freaking name on YouTube, Bill, because you go on one wrong channel and you're labeled and put in that paragraph for life.
Yeah.
Right. We learned that the hard way because I did an interview on a channel that, like I said, it bit me in the ass coming back around.
Well, that's what somebody said to me. They're like, if you want to be more popular, you should do more interviews. Because for years, people would come on my show. I'm like, no. And the reason I turned down most people is because it's like, okay, you're asking me to come on your show based on the fact that you've looked up Paranormal Hood, but do you actually ever listen to what we talk about? Because I don't want to come on the show and you're going to sit here and talk the typical ghost shit and everything to me and expect me to just be like, yeah, man, and I did a spirit box session back in October of 2019, and it was insane. That's just not me. So it's like, I'm not going to do all this insane media just to have a bunch of people to have said, oh, I've interviewed on 100 shows. No, I don't care about that.
No, I agree with that, and I agree with what you're saying too, because it says there's certain things that are now getting really overdone. I'm sorry, if I want to go watch someone do spirit box things, I'll go to the spirit box YouTubers.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's not what the hood's about. And so, yeah,
Not at all. Not at
it
all.
did kind of, I don't know, like I said, I don't want to say it the wrong way, but there were some distractions with the neck surgeries and other things that have happened. And I think some people got a little offended that you took a little break every one and didn't, you know, like I said, and I was just like, what do you guys, what do you want from them more than they're doing? They're you know,
they want
it's a one day, they miss one show.
dude, like it's that again, like for what the first 3 months, I don't think I was there for what 2.5 months. And he just was like, okay, this is what I just didn't want people to know my personal shit. You knew it, the people who need to know it knew. And it's like even when I came back for months, people I didn't explain. Well, I literally had a colostomy bag most of those fucking shows. I was in pain. The only reason I was there is because I just needed to get out the fucking house and had to do something. And I had all the cool people here to fucking help me through it. And it's
Yeah, you gotta remember, you didn't tell me anything like this. You flew back from the conference.
Yeah.
And like 3 weeks later, we talked, and you were like, "Hey, by the way, something happened on the flight back, and I did blah blah blah." And I was like, "Okay." And then you didn't say much. And you know me, I'm not going to stick my nose in personal business.
Yeah.
And then you came out on your show and she explained. I was like, "Wow, that sucks."
Because that's what it would have been about. It would have been, it's like I could have a pity party and make the show about my fucking personal shit, which has nothing to do with it. Or I can just continue to go on and do the show where we've been doing it. And listen, I get it. I see some entertainment.
They want you to take your phone in with you to the surgery and get all up in your business, man.
Dude, they want me to tweet about it. They want me to put it on Facebook. They want to know everything. It's like, that's just not me. I'm just not that person. It has nothing to do with anything.
Come through and watch when it comes out.
Oh.
Sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, can we see the colostomy bag? Yeah, is it full of shit? Are you shitting right now? Yeah, here you go.
Wow.
It's like I could pull up my shirt and fucking I was at a water park yesterday. I was like, I'm not doing any of this shit. Like, I'm just not into that yet. At some point I'll get comfortable with it, but it's like I don't focus on that shit. I don't want everybody else to focus on it. It's not gonna. It doesn't do anything. And as far as the show stuff, it's like entertainment is entertainment. And I've always said this. If what people don't understand, if I had this fucking computer in front of me, could really work this computer and make videos and edit and make crazy shit, I'd be a monster. I would be a monster. I would absolutely be a fucking monster. And the world does not want that. They don't want
I'll
that.
say something very honest right now. All the gimmicks, all the soundboards, all the editing don't make nothing over a good person being a good person.
Well, just having a quality conversation.
Yeah.
You can have all the entertainment and distractions away from the conversation, but the conversation is the focal point of everything.
Yeah, such quality conversations over here talking about the JiGGYS.
Listen, I fucking resisted being on YouTube. We resisted that for a long time. We just strictly wanted to be a talk radio show, a podcast, whatever. It's like that's what we were doing, and people are just like, we just want to see the studio. We want to see you guys smoking, see some of your guests, what goes on. And I was like, all right, what the fuck ever. And here we are. And it's like, I don't know if this makes it any more entertainment because you get to see my black ass sit here with the fucking picture of me biting a woman's ass behind me and smoke blunts. I guess,
You. No, it is you. And that was like, I'm glad we got to meet face to face. If anyone ever a true story there.
Every part of you.
Where I walked up on you for the very first time, right after a very special event had just happened.
Oh, hello. Do I want to ask?
It was UFO Congress.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. No, because someone kind of confronted Mr. Jiggy and found out that that was not a very
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
somebody tried to trigger me and it just didn't work in their favor. Again, another person who just doesn't. You just have to either watch this and kind of get my personality and who I am, or know me. And that's why any of the stories and the shit that people tried to carry away from that were fucking hilarious, because it's like, I'm not doing any of that.
Dude, if you had only known how much of a weekend for me the Congress was, because I was there to meet Alejandro and Dave. Dave couldn't make it because of a hurricane. So I just said, hey, Alejandro, man, but Dave's friend. Okay. But he was so busy, he couldn't talk.
Yep.
But then I got to meet a lot of the people that I had been following on YouTube for about a year plus at that point. And to go with them and try to start talking to them about some of the stuff that I thought they would understand going on behind the scenes, and some of them are completely clueless. Shocking.
They don't care. It's not in their narrative. It doesn't fit their narrative.
I gotta ask you too, because you guys are pretty informative. Have you guys, either two of you guys, probably Jolly won't because it's here in the U.S., heard anything about them trying to push some sort of thing where women of childbirthing age can no longer get alcohol from the age of 18 to 50?
I haven't heard that.
That would only be in a very Orthodox Christian Texas suburb, probably.
Yeah, that'd be a hard thing to push now.
That there's no law that would ever pass like that.
I was wondering.
I mean, don't get me wrong. There's probably some idiot who's probably tried to create some shit like that, but it doesn't mean it's going to go anywhere. That's just, that's some archaic shit. Oh my God.
I've seen some article.
There was a thing going around right now about detention centers in New York that they're trying to pass a bill if you don't have the vaccination certifications and blah, 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 that you will be sent off to a detention camp.
Holy shit.
So, but I think some really right-wing conservative dude trying to pass the bill, but like I said, he's talked about it. So it's gone from there to there's actually a bill being written. And like I said, that's what I'm sitting on. I don't know if he talked about it and wrote a bill or if it just got talked about and now it's getting blown out of proportion. So that's when I started looking at, okay, this stuff gets talked about and people will start running around YouTube hyping it up so much that next thing you know that we're going to be underneath martial law and the Chinese are going to and the Canadians are going to invade.
Oh no!
Yeah, Mario Heat's training right now for it.
No.
They're simply working with the Mexicans. Yeah, no, yeah. See, the double agent. I knew it.
Uh-huh.
Major Moose Knuckle. Okay. Oh goodness.
Wow.
Sorry.
You got a donkey in the wrong place. What? You know the donkey is supposed to be in the rear, right? What?
Yeah, okay, that'll do.
Yeah, but I'm gonna
poker in the rear. I forgot.
Okay.
Liquor in the front, poker in the rear.
Yeah.
There actually I went to school in Montana for a year of college, and there was a bar up there called the Rhino, and they had T-shirts that actually said it on there.
I'm just here for the comments.
Because the bar actually was set up that way. There was a poker room in the back, and the liquor was up front.
That's cute.
So yeah, poker was spelled P-O-K-E-R, not the other way.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
You know why? It was a P-O-K-E-H-E-R room.
Uh-oh.
What? Don't act like you ain't never been to one of those. I know
I've never been to one of those. Me?
You ever been to a strip club?
Oh wow.
I don't think
you too, Jolly. Jolly, you ever been to a strip club?
Jolly's been to one.
Like, don't you fucking dare.
You know you're the Chippendale boys. Come on now.
I've been to a drag show.
That's not a strip club.
That's not a strip club.
Yeah, you'll know.
Jolly used to work in a strip club. What'd you say?
Okay, that'll do.
No, I did not say she worked at a strip club. She used to sell beer, Chippendales, to all the Gimp boys that would come and beg.
I don't think I've ever been to a strip club.
I'm just kidding, Jolly.
Okay, you know I'm pumping out black diamonds here, right? Oh God.
It doesn't matter. I mean, you know,
well,
it is what it is.
Different laws there.
Yeah.
So,
and of course, you know, I was like 15 at the time, so I shouldn't have even been in there.
And she wasn't stripping.
No, I was
beer server.
Oh, you was a beer server. You was a waitress in a
the strippers used to bring the beer.
Once again, in Australia, there was the strippers, and then there were the people who were the waitresses there that were different. It's a different law, I think. Even.
I was like 13 years old the
well,
first time I went to a strip
club.
Then
we didn't actually have strip clubs as such in the state that I was living in, but in the town I was living in, because of where it's situated, and it was a huge mining town. It was mainly just men there. It was the only place in my state where they had legalized prostitution, number one. And even though Yeah, we had like topless barmaids and see-through barmaids and skimpies and that sort of thing. Yeah,
Nah, when in Rome.
that's it.
Well, man,
You
it's
know,
podunk Jaguars.
what you gonna do? You know, you got to make a living.
I mean,
you
it
gotta
was good
eat.
money. It was good money, and they didn't ask a lot of questions, and yeah. So
KB, I've been to one club in Texas, and I don't remember the name of it because this is back in the early '90s. And I saw a girl get her ass beat by another girl and got stripped butt naked.
Oh yeah, that happens. Unfortunately, too
and sent home.
Screw them judgy motherfuckers, Jolly.
Was that in Houston? I bet.
I know.
Yeah, it was Houston.
I knew it.
Yep, it was fucking Houston.
The Houston strip clubs are notorious.
Dude, that's the first fucking place on. I was there for New Year's Eve. So I'm outside. They're like, go outside. I was like, why? They're like, go outside. It's New Year's Eve. I was like, okay, it's gonna be cool fireworks. So I go, there's gonna be some cool fireworks. Motherfuckers was shooting guns in the fucking air. Fuck fireworks. There were more guns being shot than I think I even saw a fucking firework. I'm like, what the fuck? People shooting Uzis, all kinds of crazy shit. I'm like, all right, you know what?
Sounds like a Tuesday over here.
Yeah. Once again, this is something that happens all the time.
So, like, Jolly, did you get to wear pasties or anything?
She was 15. We're not going to have this
God.
conversation. No, we're not going to do that.
Hey, when I was 15, I was developed.
I don't give a flying fig Newton. I don't want to hear about what this 15-year-old was doing in the strip club. What she was wearing, nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Okay, I was wearing something. It just.
I'm sure you were. You were wearing a fucking a full
I was wearing
outfit
a
from head to toe.
wetsuit, head to toe.
You were wearing polyester.
Yeah, something.
Okay? She was dressed like the mother from fucking
She was dressed like
Brady
a
Bunch.
nun.
She was dressed like Carol fucking
She was
Brady.
the pleather man. Just kidding.
Oh,
She was dressed like a little nun.
Fuck you.
Wait, you said she was dressed like
Why
a
would
gimp.
you
Stop
say
it, Lee.
that?
Come on, you know that's my nickname. Hi.
I know. Wow.
Hey now.
I
So,
don't know. I get
Over here in
sound
the
bites.
States, we have these really strict rules about liquor and dress.
Liquor and
And
what?
Liquor and stripping.
Oh, okay.
I'm trying to be as PC as I possibly can. I know there's these sensitive snowflakes out there we don't want to trigger.
Oh, kiss my ass. Say
So,
stripping.
I'm not actually talking about you. I'm talking about other people that are that might listen. So
Oh.
relax here. So
Sensitive thugs all need hugs.
you know it. So I do understand it that if it's BYOB, it can be full nude in some places like in Texas and Arkansas. But then, like I said, it's Texas. That's where I understand that. Yeah, this is a much deeper conversation than people actually really get.
Yeah.
Oh,
But
because
that
of the
actually
health
works
codes,
in the
Mhm.
wait, but that works in the patron's favor because BYOB means the liquor is cheaper. You're going to spend more money on the strippers.
The most entrance fee to get into the private club is $1,500.
because of the. I bet you it's BYOB
Oh, yeah.
because of the health code, and they can't get the health code and work with the body hairs and serving any kind of beverage. I bet.
But
it's
is
a
that
health code
universal
issue.
or is that just
No, like I said, it's certain laws and jurisdictions. That's what I'm saying. Is I don't understand it that well. I just know that growing up here, my friends were connoisseurs of those kind of places. I wasn't one of those types myself. I went on my birthdays. We would go, and every time I went down to New Orleans and that kind of stuff, we would go. But again, I was more scared to get my wallet jacked or anything else like that.
Oh,
We were missing kidney. I was a little paranoid maker growing up, but we still try to have fun here.
Well, working food service, I bet it had something to do with health codes.
Yep.
I bet you that was a loophole with the health codes.
Well, I mean, I know towns because there's a town I lived in here where like a lot of the restaurants and all that stuff was like bring your own liquor. I was like, what? The fuck is the point? Like,
I was, we would hear about these little places out there in the boondocks where, it's like I said, that's what I'm saying. It's BYOB was code for that's a full nude, no bottoms even.
Yeah.
Where you get those kind of happy endings there in the back room, So yeah, that's the thing.
There's no sex in the champagne room.
So it's like
Where have I heard that before?
And just to be clear,
it's a Chris Rock
there was
skit
nothing
and
like
song.
that going on. Okay, just to be
you're
clear.
an angel, dear.
Bullshit.
Sorry, what?
Maybe not with you. Better not have been with you because you were fifth fucking team. But I don't know all the other.
No,
Listen,
come on, no.
listen,
Yeah.
Jolly.
Oh,
Here
yeah.
in the States, I'll just say that I've hung out in strip clubs. I dated a stripper. but I also had clients who loved strip clubs. And I've told this story before. I had a client who rented out the VIP upper level of a strip club in Atlanta, one of the most popular strip clubs in Atlanta, just so him and I could watch football and eat chicken wings and get lap dances.
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
That's cool.
Insane. Like, and I've been to some crazy strip clubs here. Crazy strip clubs.
And Atlanta's big, so you know that costed him some nice money.
Oh, it doesn't matter. I know it cost him money because he was one of those clients who just had money like that. Like that's the type of person he was.
No backwoods honky tonk.
No,
we're talking a
actually
strip
the funny
club
thing he's
in Atlanta.
He's from Texas, KB, the client. I'll say that. But he was like, let's go to Atlanta. Why do we go to Atlanta for? I won't go to a strip club. I was like, okay, let's
was
go.
he in the music biz or was he just a client?
No, I'd have to tell you off air. He was into a lot of shit.
Oh,
he is into a lot of shit. I had to do a lot of legwork to find out some of the shit. Let's just say that.
When that scene was it?
Well, fucking.
Now this I do.
When I say legwork, I'm talking boots on the ground. Like I have.
Oh right. Okay.
I have a lot of connections to find out things, so I find out what I need to find out. I've had some shady fucking clients I've had to stop dealing with.
Yeah.
I mean, I have some insane stories.
You and me both.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Lord have mercy.
But I never did security work, so you know.
There's nothing worse, let's just say, than a client who's a gambler who does pay his debts, but he doesn't like to go pay his debts. He wants somebody else like me to go do it because I'm a different kind of animal.
Next, I'm curious about Aussie stuff. What are corkage fees for BYO?
Well, like, you know, when you go to restaurants and places like that, and like they come over and they, you know, serve you wine and that sort of shit. That's what we're talking about. Popping the cork and yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, that's the whole thing about strip clubs even here is that if you're like, that's why BYOB is insane because liquor is cheaper in a liquor store, obviously. But strip clubs here, most of the strip clubs here, your entrance fee is you got to buy a drink. You got to buy a dance or a drink, and those drinks are probably like it's like a fucking Coke is like $15, and a fucking rum and Coke is like $30 and shit.
Once again, like this buying bottles, you know what I'm saying now. And that's
I know all about bottle service.
Because it used to be VIP in the back only. That's now all over the places.
Yeah.
The whole industry's changed in the last couple of years. It's weird now.
The VIP is normally just reserved for people who are going to spend that money for that booth now. You can, I mean, champagne.
It wasn't a very good translation, Drew, but you know, did my best, mate. Sorry.
No, it's all right.
I should type it in the chat, but I'm too bloody.
You should just come in the fucking show and talk.
Yeah.
I mean, clearly, what is it like afternoon for you all right now, right?
Crickets.
Yep, it's 12:30.
It's 15:15 midnight.
12.
So what's it like tomorrow?
I hope it's going to be a bit bloody warmer than today because
it's not going to be. It's winter for y'all. Fuck y'all. Deal with your winter. Deal with it. Okay. Hello, Drew. You gonna come in? What's up?
Oh, what the frig?
Hello?
Okay, stop that. Hello.
Uh-oh. You're killing Jelly.
Hello.
You're hurting the
Drew,
Jelly.
Oh, I've heard that before.
Okay, that one she's not too bad.
Okay.
That one she kind of liked.
No, that one I'm going to recognize. Weirdos ringing up here.
Hey, I've had to teach a 6-year-old how to snorkel this weekend.
Oh.
And be the fucking rock. Listen.
No.
I'm like, just breathe. It's okay. Just breathe.
It is intimidating.
Oh, it is. I'm not. I don't believe in scaring a child. Like I see videos of people. What do you say?
You don't believe just throwing him into the deep end?
Yeah, little stupid things. But I'm talking
too.
about like I've seen people take kids on like the slingshot and shit like that. Like I would never, ever. Oh, no. There were things. She's like, "Can I go on that?" I was like, "Absolutely not. Absolutely not." Because I don't want you in the middle of this ride to freak out. You're freaking out on these simple rides. You get on that shit and start freaking out. It doesn't stop.
Okay, you did do the cave.
Yeah, I'm not. I don't scare kids and shit like that. I'm like, there's a point when you're ready for stuff because that's how I grew up. It wasn't about the
That's the
fear
parents'
factor.
job.
Yeah, well, to an extent.
My parents were kind of. I guess they weren't really around, and it was my older sisters that would make me go on the bullet, the other rides, knowing I'd get off and throw up.
See, no one has ever made me do shit. If
I
I
had
was
a baby
going on something,
brother.
it was by choice. It's like no one's gonna bully me into getting. I liked roller coasters, all that type of shit. There's rides I have my limits on, like that one that you go up and then it drops you in the seat. I've done that once, and I did it once. And that's it. I wouldn't do it again. I definitely wouldn't do it now, but I did it once. And there's some rides I'm just like, no. Yeah, the slingshots and shit like that. No, I'm good. I don't need to be free falling and like what's that fucking ride? Isn't there a ride in Vegas or is it Seattle that's on top of roller coaster and shit that's on top of a whole? Yeah,
it's called the Stratosphere.
I love roller coasters, but no.
I've done that one.
Yeah, that's
No.
yeah. I love roller coasters too, but that one, no. That
It's
one makes
supposedly
me
in
wanna
Vegas.
pee.
Can't you? Isn't there like a zip line through Vegas or some shit? Yeah, no.
I haven't been there in a million years.
Okay, that one actually sounds like a lot of fun though.
Yeah, knock yourself
Zip
out.
line?
I'll be on the ground filming you.
You're in a harness connected to a wire, because as long as the wires aren't old, I'd do it.
Dude, there's not enough parachute. There's not enough bungee. There's not enough safety precautions that you can
bungee jumping or anything, Jiggy.
Fuck no.
I think I'd rather zip line through
I'll
trees
never
than
do bungee
cement.
The closest thing that I've done to something is
Really?
what is it? Is it?
There's no way you can come to Australia and not go bungee jumping.
Oh, go fuck yourself. I'm not coming to Australia
Okay.
first of all, so you don't have to worry. I'm not bungee
You
shit.
might not like me when I say this, Jolly. I will bungee jump, but it won't be in Australia.
I've done the slingshot.
There's a bridge in New Zealand I would do it off of, and then take the jet boat.
Well, bless your heart.
Yeah,
I'll do this. I would even do the slingshot again.
No, go fuck that. No.
My dad did this one in New Zealand, and the guys there were very good.
Oh, really?
And like I says, they ask you just your hands or your head too, and they could literally, if you want your hands to touch the water, that's fine. If you want your head in,
Wait, what are you talking about doing? What?
a
Bungee in, upside down.
But I think they do that everywhere, Lee.
I'm pretty
Like
sure
everywhere I've ever gone,
the
that's
jet boat ride through that canyon there, though, afterwards is kind of amazing.
But if they can do the science where you can just touch the water, that's all right. That's shit hot. That's hot dogging right there. If they can dip you just where you touch the water with your hands or your head, depending on your judgment.
They check their
Yeah,
road.
they weigh you and all that sort of stuff. They
That
can
is
calculate it, yeah.
sweet.
All
Oh,
my
that's
mind ever
sweet.
thinks about is human error.
Nah,
Never
but
went out on
it's
the
in
train
water.
and jumped into water when you were a kid.
It's in water.
Jumped like a cliff dive. Jumped
No, where the fuck was my black ass going to cliff dive at? Anyways, I live in the city.
Okay, once again.
Yeah, my dad just kicked me in the ass over the edge. I didn't have a choice.
Quarries.
No.
Okay. Once again, I'm sorry you didn't have a normal.
I wasn't afraid of heights back then, but I just wasn't doing shit like that. Like it's my friends were like, "Yo, you want to go fucking quarry jumping?" What? Like where the fuck quarry? The quarry's here too. Like the quarry, the closest one was the Quincy quarry, and it was known for people fucking getting murdered there. Who the fuck wants to go there and jump in?
Jeez.
People that go up there and swim during the daytime hours. There were plenty of people that did that.
In fact, that movie Gone Baby Gone, that's the exact fucking quarry they're talking about in the fucking movie. Is it about the fucking Quincy quarry and shit where fucking Whitey Bulger and them used to dump bodies and all that shit?
My stupid ass went whitewater rafting on New River Gorge down there in West Virginia.
You're not stupid. You lived through it. You did something you wanted to do. I might whitewater raft. But whitewater rafting to me, that's not intimidating. I've been, canoeing. I've been fucking kayaking. All that's not intimidating to me. I wouldn't have a problem with that.
Oh, cool.
I'm a competent swimmer, everything, so I'm not concerned about water like that.
I know.
So if you're a
My ears
confident
did prick
swimmer,
up.
I think you might do bungeeing.
I'm not. I can absolutely tell you, I would never.
I'm afraid of
I'm not
heights.
jumping out of a plane. I'm not doing any of that type of shit.
Yeah, I don't want to jump out of a
I'm not.
perfectly good plane.
I don't want to even be on the fucking roof in most cases. Like depending on how high the roof is, I don't even want to be on the fucking roof of anything. I'm good.
Yeah, got bad. What are those tides called?
Riptides?
Yep.
Yeah. Here?
No, down under. They're talking about.
Yeah. The number of, Aussies themselves learn about that shit real young in life, but the number of tourists that come down here and are totally oblivious to it, and they don't sort of work out, gee, everyone's swimming over in this part and over this part, but nobody's in that bit in the middle, and they go in the middle and then wonder why they start drowning.
Jolly, it happens here. There's a beach up in New Hampshire. I almost drowned there. The only reason I didn't drown is because I know how to swim. Because they don't fucking back then warn people that not only is there a riptide, but there's a drop off.
Yeah.
So the two combined, you're fucked if you don't know how to swim. And this week, last weekend, or the weekend before alone, that there were 7 reported of the lifeguards having to save people in this exact Hampton Beach is what it's called, at this exact fucking beach. So it's not just there. That shit happens here because people just want to just jump in shit and they don't warn you. They got lifeguards, luckily, but in most cases, they're starting to put signage up now, but they didn't do it back in the day.
In a lot of our beaches, actually in most of our beaches, we don't have like lifeguards like you guys do.
Oh.
Like only in like Bondi and a few of the major sort of touristy beaches, I suppose you'd call them, like Cottesloe in Western Australia. So yeah, people, they just turn up and think, oh, it's a remote beach, it's beautiful, but they don't bother to look and see, if there's any signs up saying, keep your eyes out for sharks.
Oh shit!
That's helpful.
I actually have a question
it's the
for you,
same
Jolly.
as up north. They literally along all the freshwater waterways and stuff, and the saltwater waterways more, but even in the freshwater creeks and things like that, signs up everywhere like, don't swim in here because there's fucking crocs. And the number of people that think, oh yeah, you can't see anything, it's fine, and jump in. And in the freshwater systems, usually it's like Johnson crocs, which don't generally eat people, but recently the saltwater crocs have been coming down into the freshwater because there's been more salinity in the creeks and rivers, freshwater rivers. So now you're getting saltwater crocs that are coming into the freshwater areas. And yeah, people just particularly, I know it sounds like I'm going off at tourists. I'm not, because, but tourists wonder why they get fucking eaten, or not eaten, but bitten or
Jolly,
whatever.
Tourists. First of all, even when I've traveled, I've never been a tourist. I think I was a tourist once in all the times I've traveled, and that was Mexico. Any other place, I've never been a tourist, and tourists are dumb as fuck. I've been in Latin-speaking countries where they serve Latin food.
Yeah.
And people will be like, why does nobody here speak English? What? I can't get anything but Latin food. Huh? Like, what did you think? You're going to come here and find McDonald's on every fucking corner? Like, you're not in America. Like, hello, enjoy the fucking experience. You're in another fucking country. That's what you came to the country for. Tourists are fucking dumb. They're just, in most cases, plumb dumb. They think everything is going to be the same or however they want it. It's just not like that.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't be like that. Like, that's the whole thing about travel, is the experience. Like, what's the point of me going to another country? I might go to another country and try the McDonald's there just to see the difference. But that's not going to be my source of food when I'm there.
Yeah.
Shit, I've been in Mexico, and the dude at the fucking taco stand was like, you're kind of bold. Because I was like, I'm tired of eating resort food. So I went and found a fucking taco stand out in the fucking town where they were fucking having cockfights and all kinds of shit. The dude was like, wow. Like, he said, not too many tourists come down here, man. It's like, okay.
No shit.
Can I just eat and get the fuck up out of here? Like, I'm good. I didn't come down here for fucking problems. I just want a fucking real taco and some real food and shit. Like, hello. Yeah. And he was like, okay.
So I'm needing closure, Jolly. With the crocodiles coming in from the saltwater to the freshwater, is there like a battle that happens between the two varieties of crocodiles over territory?
Not so much. The salties are generally way more aggressive. And the Johnson crocs are pretty much smart enough to just get out of the fucking way.
Just curious.
Yeah. They move further downstream where it's, less salinity and that sort of thing. But yeah, it's becoming a problem, but it's becoming a problem more that it's occurring. And like I say, tourists are, jumping in the freaking water thinking everything's going to be fine, and everything's not going to be fine, because if something happens, not only do you go missing, number one, but number two, generally help is so fucking far away that by the time they actually get people out there to try and assist, it's way too late,
That's why
See,
I'm
I'm
never
more
going
interested
to
in that.
Australia.
You have all these people that come out and want to start increasing culling numbers and that sort of thing. You know, the idea is either be smart enough or keep out of the fucking environment.
Or just don't go to fucking Australia.
And there I am.
Australia's
Screw
fine,
the
you know.
tourists. Tell me more about the
no,
alligators.
no.
Well, see, we don't have alligators here. We only have crocs.
Or crocs.
Nope.
Yeah. Screw the
Yeah.
tourists. Tell me more about the crocs. What's your favorite critter down there, Jelly? Your
The
favorite
one that lives in
critter?
her vagina.
Oh, come on
Or
now.
flora.
Absolutely
Correction.
excellent.
Flora or fauna?
Flora or fauna?
Your favorite living thing in Australia? Your personal favorite?
Bears.
I do like the drop bears, although
Wait,
the
what the fuck is a
bunyip
drop
I'm a
bear?
little bit I'm a little bit partial
bigger.
to the bunyips.
Wait, what the fuck is a drop bear?
Yeah, me too. See, I mean, you learn something new every day. I'm going to find out what a drop bear is. See?
Oh, they are dangerous. Let me tell you, they are freaking dangerous. They're quite elusive.
Oh,
You're a
the
little like
koala.
koalas, but no, they're not. No, they're not koalas. Koalas are
Oh.
sweet, but they're sort of like koalas.
Oh my
but
God.
They have these savage.
Why do they make those fake? Like they're cute animals, so they make those fake. Well, no, they're not even really cute. They look like they're like, listen, no, they're not
we're not
koalas
a
at all.
team,
No,
right?
these motherfuckers look completely unapproachable.
I agree.
But this one
Oh.
says mammoth drop bear
See,
is average
fuck
taller than the average man.
Only this is why I'm never going to Australia. Only Australia
What
could
are you
take
laughing for, Lee? You
pandas
ain't got me
spotted
bored
one.
too.
horse
I saw
pandas.
his face when he opened up the picture.
What the fuck? Take them up. Look like Nosferatu and shit in a fucking cute little. I'm never going to Australia. Okay, you could put $1 million challenge. You can keep that. I'm no.
Have you ever seen a horny toad?
Jolly, you are the bomb,
Yes, I
girl.
have.
I love it.
Vicky, have you ever seen a horny toad?
A horny toad?
I have.
Like
Yeah, a
actually
lizard.
toad? You're talking about wait, they're what?
It's a horny toad.
Like
It's a
toad?
little lizard.
It's a
Yeah, and they have
toad.
little spines all over. Oh,
Oh my god!
oh,
I'm not,
I thought it just
brown
meant whatever.
cow.
That's what I thought.
You know, just mess with them so you can look it up. They're cool. Horny toads are cool.
what the? That shit looked like a fucking. It looked like a mini version of a fucking dinosaur dragon or some shit.
Yeah, a bearded dragon sort
Yeah,
of. but
I
yeah.
mean, Smoke King had a bearded dragon. This wouldn't freak me out. This doesn't look like a fucking like that fucking drop bear.
If a bearded dragon was a car, the horny toad would be the motorcycle.
Nah, it'd be the fucking Mini Cooper.
That'll work too.
It'd be the Mini Cooper. Okay? Fucking Cooper Trooper. Okay, kid.
But in answer to your question, Six Drops, I would say that of our indigenous animals, I would say probably the black glove wallabies. I think they're just beautiful.
Wallabies. The what wallabies?
They're black glove. Well, they're black glove wallabies. Which
I'm gonna Google it.
Yeah.
I love critters.
Let me know if it looks like a
Wallaby.
drop bear.
Well, yeah, they're just they're macropods like kangaroos. You know, they hop. But the wallabies are a lot smaller. They're generally like in
they
the rocks and that. But they're sort of a grey colour, and they have like a little black face, and they have like little black gloves on their hands.
Yeah.
They're absolutely gorgeous.
They're like little baby kangaroos with mittens.
Yeah, but they've got little fat asses. And like Mum and Dad have like a wildlife rehab and rescue. So, you know, we have lots of joeys of, you know, whether they're the greys or the reds. I mean, the reds get flown down from up north. We have like the Tama wallabies get sent over from Garden Island. But unfortunately, if they come over, they can't go back because of quarantine and that sort of stuff. The quokkas from Rottnest Island, they either get put down over there if they're orphaned or injured, or they come over here and wind up at Mum and Dad's. In which case, they end up living their life out there because we can't release them because they're not native to the mainland. But yeah, the black gloves.
First of all,
we don't
kudos
get that many
to
of them, but they're gorgeous.
just a quick kudos to you and Mom and Dad and your wildlife rehab because taking care of them, that's awesome. So cheers.
Every little bit
Yeah.
helps.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
Every
sounds like
little bit
that sounds like a lot of bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A little bit
I
is
mean,
someone who has like a foster and shit, like, you know.
well, you know, we had to put it. Well, when I say we, that's not true. Mum and Dad had to put up predator-proof fencing, obviously, and I mean the property that they're in doing that is only like 10 hectares,
Okay.
but because it's on solid.
Hold on there. You just
granite,
use Roman speak. What the fuck is a hectare?
Okay, a hectare, 6 acres is 1 hectare.
Okay.
And in a metropolitan area, you have like a big block is a 1/4 acre block. So it's, you know, it's a reasonable lump of land, but yeah. So yeah, but because they're in an area which is all granite and bauxite underneath them, they had to blast all the holes to put the cyclone fencing in, which they then had to electrify. So this predator-proof fence to keep out the foxes and feral cats and shit.
To keep you in.
No. I was out long before then. Yeah, ended up being like a $46,000 routine just to put up the stinking fence.
So do you ever tell the tourists, speaking of which, that if you pee on the electric fence, it'll make a spark?
Well, we don't have too many tourists there because, yeah, dad's dad. But that said, you know, when mates and that come over from the States or wherever, the eastern states, anyone wanting to see any of that sort of stuff, well, yeah, take them up to the old's place. But
that sounds like a good thing. That sounds like a good thing to share on Facebook as a life hack.
I sent Jiggy some photos of my,
life hack.
of
Pee
my
on
daughter.
electric fence makes a spark.
Well, it's all right. My grandmother, when she got dementia, Mum and Dad built her a self-contained granny flat. I mean, it's just a little freaking house, let's be honest. And she was starting to get worse and worse and worse. Anyway, finally, Mum had gone to work this day, and Dad went out to check and see if she wanted a coffee or anything, and couldn't find her. And so he starts going around the property, couldn't find her. So he rings Mum, and she's panicking, and she's like, "Well, she can't have gone anywhere. I locked the fence. I locked the gates when I left." And like I say, it's fully electrified. And sure enough, about an hour later, Dad's beside himself, and he gets a phone call from the medical centre down the bottom of the mountain, and she's got her pajamas on and her Ugg boots, and of all things, a tartan fucking cape. I mean, I don't even know where she got that from. And she climbed the fucking electrified fence. I shit you not. She climbed the fence, hitchhiked down the mountain to go to the doctors.
She was okay.
Just go to the doctors to say that Dad had murdered Mum. It was honestly, absolutely batshit. And yeah, that's when we realised that like a 6-foot electrified fence won't keep someone out that's really dinkum about getting out of the joint. But yeah, I mean, I grabbed the fence before, not knowing that it was on, thinking it was off, and grabbed hold of it, and it like lifted me off the ground and put me on my back.
Did it make your nipples hard?
Fuck yeah, it was great.
Wow.
Did you orgasm?
Funny story, Jiggy. I had this dog, right? This bloody Olympic high jumper, this thing. Could not keep it in the backyard. Anyway, I was renting this place, and the gardens that were there were absolutely magnificent. And the only way I could keep him out of the garden was to put one of those portable bull fences around the garden, which was fine. So we'd done that, the ex and I had done that, but on the other side, inside where the actual garden part was this huge big fish pond and fountain and what have you. And because all the ferns and everything used to drop crap in there, I'd have to get in there once every few months and, get all the sludge out of the bottom.
Used to have a pond.
Fine. So I'm in there this day. I turn it off, right? The electric fence. Because it was only it was portable, so it was only about a metre high, I suppose. And I climb over it, and I'm in the pond, X is playing funny buggers. He squirts me with the hose. So now I've got my t-shirt stuck to me and I'm in the pond. That's fine. I'm out there for quite some time. He goes back inside, not realizing I was still in the pond, and flicks the fence back on. And it was summer. And anyway, I have my drink on the other side of the electric fence. So I wander over with my t-shirt stuck to me and bend over the fence to grab my drink and put both tits right on the fence. And of course, I'm still got 1 foot in the water. So of course, it gave me a hell of a boot. But apart from the noise I made, I shit you not, I walked around for about the next 3 months with these nipples that were sticking out about 3 times as far as they should have been. Middle of summer, could not make them go down. So, anyone
are there any
that's never-
pictures?
I'm sure there are. But the mileage my mates got out of that,
Oh, wow.
I still hear about that shit to this day.
Shock nipples.
Jesus Christ.
Well, they could keep some balls in. You know, it's bad enough getting a boot off at the best of times, let alone when you're standing in water and you got a wet shirt on. Anyway,
Did you have like the
There would have
most
been so
beautiful
much video pictures.
arc pattern on your shirt, on your chest? You know what I mean? Like when you
Yeah.
see the little lightning.
Yeah.
Did you have an arc pattern
No,
going?
it looked
Not
like one of
that I
those
noticed,
T-shirts
but it was-
with boobs on it. It was a perfect imprint of the boobs and the nipple.
Holy cow, that had to hurt. Did,
a little bit. But,
yeah.
I
the
have
dog
one
used
question.
to occasionally lift his leg on the fence, which I used to
I have
think
a
was
question.
hilarious.
So
Yeah.
there was arousal obviously involved. Did anything else happen?
Oh my God.
Oh, wow. Jiggy, sometimes you're a sweetheart. Sometimes you're a fucking pig. You really are.
I'm not a pig. I just want to know because I know that there's some women who end up being shocked during sex. There are men and women who are into that shit. So did you
Yeah, I know.
possibly climax?
Well, no, I wasn't, you know, at that
looking over
particular
there?
point in time, I wasn't really thinking about rubbing one out right then and there. I can't remember whether I did or not later, but at the time I was more horrified that
Did you wet yourself?
no.
All right, so most
Although,
likely,
that said, it did actually throw me backwards and I did go ass up in the pond. So that may have happened, but I don't recall that happening. But, yeah.
a drop of pee came out.
Oh, wow.
I just know what the
No, I do my Kegels. Even back then.
I would have wanted to have sex to see if the insides were still electric. It could have been electric.
Oh, wow.
Sure loves the boogies.
Okay,
You
we're
got to
private in
feel
this
it.
scene, aren't
It's
we?
electric. Boogie, boogie.
See, this is where you fuck with their heads a little bit, Jolly, and tell them that your nipples still glow in the dark.
I'd be all about that.
You.
See, man.
Sorry, what was that?
I said this is where you should have fucked with their head a little bit and told them that your nipples still glow in the dark.
I'd have been all over that.
And see,
Well,
and that's where I
some of
said,
these people
see,
already know that.
see?
It's like the
Wink,
girls
wink.
who have it's like the girls who have the innie nipples and you have to like coax them to get out. You know, you gotta do a little work. It's kind of fun. You know, when they pop out, it's like
Oh no,
and then they're out. They're like,
inverted nipples.
yeah.
Got to be honest, I've never actually seen those.
Oh, I have.
I do believe they exist, but I've never actually seen a pair.
Yeah, they exist.
Hmm.
Like the inverted clit. What?
Is that a little
What happened? What happened?
Yeah, well, if you can't get that out, you're not doing your job right, Jiggy.
Oh,
Come on.
like I said, I know about the inverted nipple and the inverted clit, and I didn't say I had any problems with either one of them coming out to play. So,
Well, that's my boy.
okay, shit.
Hmm.
I am well versed in nippleology. Okay, I have a degree.
Okay. Mhm.
Okay, I'm like Emery
the
Smith. I got
bestest
13 PhDs in nippleology.
What's your preference?
Who are we talking to?
I like big ass nipples. I can't.
You
lie.
like the over
Oh
the heat tower?
no,
Yeah,
not the really big ones.
not like Bozo the Clown big. No,
Quarter.
I don't mean like some old fucking. I don't mean like someone look like they put some old fucking suction on it. No, I'm not talking about that. I don't want speed bags and shit for nipples. You know?
Holy shit! I can see it in my mind's eye. You don't want to be getting the stretch marks around your mouth, there, Jiggy.
Why would I get? I wouldn't. Ain't no stare. I don't know.
You know, Betty let him.
Ollie.
Nope.
You're naughty.
Here, nipple, nipple, nipple. Come out to play, nipple.
Not you guys.
Come out to play.
Not you guys.
Oh, you're saying that to your friends.
Yeah, not you guys.
Yeah, a little bit, Drew. It was a little bit like that, darling.
You're blinded. You're blinded.
That's what I'm saying. That sex would have been electric. Like if your body kept the charge and shit, and you just.
Why do you
have to
think all these
breastfeed
weirdos
later?
keep coming around when they find out about the cattle pod? They can't get around quick enough. Freaking weirdos.
You know that you
bring a fucking cattle prod in the bed when we fight.
You might as well get.
Listen, I'm a one-sided freak. Like, yeah, no, you ain't tying me up. You're not handcuffing me. You're not doing
They all
nothing.
say.
You'll do what you're goddamn told, and you'll like it. All right.
I am nobody. I am no submissive.
You'll learn to like it.
No.
Just say
Yeah,
yes.
okay.
So, like,
have another, and just keep
That's
going.
it.
if you lay on your back just
Who's your
right,
mama?
can you connect to Space Link?
You mean Starlink?
Starlink, yeah, that too.
I guess. Good luck.
Because of all the electric.
I bet she got really good cable and fucking internet back then when she was all electric. Her internet would have been
Yeah,
off
that's
the
what I'm
hook.
saying. Yeah.
You know what I'm
Just put a cell phone between her boobs and it recharges in seconds.
saying?
Tapping lines better than the FBI ever
No,
could.
you just plug the port into her
Beep,
nipple.
beep, beep, beep. There you go.
Wow.
You swipe a credit card through a butt cheek, she'll actually be a
Hey,
transaction.
Jelly, that utility belt's max volted out now.
Wow.
You just bought $2,000 worth of shit.
That was funny. It made me get my tools out, big boy.
Did they kill the tarantula in your vagina when you got shot?
I didn't have a tarantula in there, dear.
You're Australian. You're an Australian woman. You have a tarantula in your vagina.
Oh my God.
All y'all do.
Keep the skank apes from getting up in there.
Oh, like a skunk cake if you get anywhere near up in mine. Ooh,
Portal.
Well, you've heard of
not a
Bitcoin and
chance in
everything.
hell, babe.
But
Shitcoin.
since all this electric happened, you've heard of Bitcoin. Now,
Mhm.
Jolly, we're going to have Titcoin. Because you've
Titcoin,
got
okay.
yeah, because of all that electric you've had stored for so many years now, we're
Mm-hmm.
going to cash in on that, and
All right,
it's
I
all
think
that
Max
crypto
must
stuff.
kill to go somewhere. We need
Yeah.
to do an NFT nipple coin thing.
Yeah, Titcoin.
Mm.
It'd be much better than the Doshi coins did. I kind of lost my bet on those.
Is it really almost 1 o'clock with you motherfuckers?
What was
Yep.
that?
Yeah.
Was that P-Master?
I'm going to do one more blunt with you motherfuckers.
Aye.
Mm.
Suckers.
You big girl,
Bye.
Klaus. You're going to bed at 1
Everybody
o'clock.
just keep going until Trump-
What did you say?
What?
I'm going to go eat, and then I'm going to go watch Loki.
Oh.
You started it, so I'm saying a fucking word, and y'all need to stop. I'm gonna stop watching you all if you don't stop ruining that stuff. For everybody.
I haven't talked. Who? I haven't ruined
You
anything.
know who? Fucking nostalgia and poop heads.
I haven't. I haven't ruined anything for
now.
anybody.
Don't get out stinky stave, Jolly. You know, I get a little jealous.
I'm just here for the comments.
Maybe.
You know, the Muffin Man's on the warpath right now.
Oh, fuck the muffin man.
Yeah.
Oh,
The one on Drury's Lane. Drury
the
Lane.
soft cocks. Vagina. Oh, no.
Huh?
Didn't you just say vagina?
No, I think you said that, to be honest with you.
Vagina.
Oh, see, we know this guy called Vagina. He's an absolute cunt, just by the way. But I didn't say
Wait.
that out loud.
His name is Vaginada?
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
Like that's
he's
that's
the
his
sheriff
birth.
of
That's his
YouTube.
birth name.
Yes, James is his actual first name.
Oh, okay. He calls himself Vaginada.
No, we call him that.
Oh.
He calls himself the sheriff of YouTube.
Oh,
But
damn! There's
yeah.
a sheriff on YouTube. Wow.
No,
yeah.
look,
Well, he likes to
well,
think so. He's just a beta boy, that's all. But
he's a Canadian beta biker boy.
that's it.
Loose, hanging out with Preach.
Fucking Freddy.
Mhm.
And whispering in the tooth's ear. Oh,
Dun,
toothy, toothy.
Are they still carrying on?
No, they ended.
Probably.
They
Oh,
just
did they?
ended a little while ago.
Oh, okay. Well,
Hey,
I better
Charlie.
make sure I manage to rip it all.
That
Yeah.
motherfucker. Do you think I got an honorable mention?
I'm sure you did, sweetie.
You want to know what I did catch?
What did you catch?
Guess who was in the chat room?
Vinny Vespa.
Well, yes, Vinny Vespa was in there, but so was the name dropper me.
I just want to point
Are
out
you
Jolly.
shitting me?
Nope, I got the screenshot of name dropper Veltman driving through the trailer park.
Okay, but was it actually Lee name dropper Veltman, or was it you being a smart ass for
It's that
someone that
dude.
always?
You know who the
Yeah,
clone of me
okay.
is. It was him.
Yeah, okay. That's what I was establishing, whether it was your clone or whether it was actually you.
No.
But,
The
'cause
name
I know you've taken to fucking with some of these people now.
Would you?
I can't get there. I'm blocked.
Oh,
Aw.
no.
If we're supposed to be, if you're supposed to be part of this death syndicate, I've got one of them robes, them hooded robes that look like one of them Illuminati robes.
Nah,
are black.
they wear Adidas tracksuits and Kangles.
Hey, Jolly.
It's all right. I gave him a
And we-
really nice little outfit
and we
to
could
wear.
get all spooky and give them something to really.
So you see the
work
green
about.
hooded outfit I have with the skull and crossbones on it.
There you go.
Whereabouts am I going to find it?
It's in my closet.
Oh, well, if we're getting in the closet, okay, babe.
Now it's trapped
I'm
in his
kidding.
closet.
Yeah, I'm not trapped in his closet. He's trapped in mine. Just
He's
kidding.
cleaning out his
That's
closet.
where we keep our Prepper Kitty decoder rings. And
Dakota rings and other toys. And
Yeah.
assorted
Well, the cool stuff
stuff.
is damn.
Yeah.
That's a. Don't you also have the first and only exclusive connection to that 8G tower that's going out? So you have the superior.
Lee, she's
Yeah.
talking about 8G. 8G is nothing.
Once again,
8G.
they don't know about the secret 8G. The
8G.
secret,
Well, think about it. They're still talking about G's anyway.
once
So
again,
there
they
you go.
don't know about our,
Yeah.
nanos satellites that we've been putting up with the Black Knight satellite mastermind control AI up there.
Yep.
Oh, come on.
Nice.
I've been cruising around in that Black Knight satellite for years, so don't try and tell me you're doing that with it, because we all know that's just my. What the hell are you doing?
You've been inside the Black Knight. What's
Oh,
it like
hell.
inside?
No, Six Drops. The Black Knight's been inside of her.
Oh,
Ba-dum.
Jiggy! Oh my God, you'll be going on the rack for that one.
I want to
you
hear
stuff.
what it's like inside. I mean, is it all pimped out? Is it like all velvety in there? or
Wait,
is
I
it
didn't hear
like
that. Wait, what did you say? I'm going on a what?
A little
little
bit.
little-
You're going to be going on the rack later, son.
A rack
And it won't
later?
be, yeah. And
Oh,
you won't be getting the feather boas and the friendly toys. You'll be getting the not so nice. You're going to shock the shit out of you.
Oh, here
And
you
Sort
you
of
know
like a
what?
pimped out
You
limo.
will learn some
Jolly,
lessons.
Jolly.
And you
I've
will
I've
like
heard
it.
all the threats before.
Oh,
When she gets up the nipple clamps, it
you look out.
I'm
Hook
still
you up to the
standing.
bull fence.
Blah 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 blah. That's all I hear. Okay. Okay.
I think you
Okay?
can't threaten him with a good
You gotta
time.
speak up.
That's not a good
Oh,
time.
are you talking about the
That-
ancients or the moderns there, buddy?
Ooh. Now that is a question, isn't it?
Yes, it is now, isn't it? With those
Mm.
Olympians and all. All of my secret societies, I'm a member of all of them.
Oh, remember.
I just get checks from George
That's
Soros.
it. I stopped before we got there. What was that, sweetheart?
I get uncashable checks from George Soros.
I bet you do. What do you have to do for him, big boy?
Well, I'm a disinformation agent.
So why do you have uncashable checks?
Yeah.
Well,
Wouldn't you
apparently I
want to
can't
cash
cash them because but I must be I keep getting told I'm a disinformation agent and all this shit, and I don't do any
I always
research.
thought you were a COINTELPRO shill.
Mhm.
Yeah.
We know you're working
It's
for
okay.
the Eyes Networks out of Pine Gap, Australia, with all those double secret Aussie
Hang
agents.
on. No. Shh.
Wait till I get my Spotify fucking deal.
Clearance. Damn it! There goes my Q clearance. I'm fucking
There
back
goes your clearance,
down
honey.
to B clearances again. Gonna start all over.
That's it. Bottom rung.
Philip Blay, you're talking about 33G, so you keep talking about G stuff. You just don't understand.
33. Illuminati confirmed.
Mm-hmm. 33
Mm.
degrees of G. Uh-huh.
Mm.
What?
Yay.
7.
7-7-93-11?
Yes.
42.
Is the answer to everything.
Yes.
Mhm.
See,
I
Lee
believe
knows.
so.
36 and 2 are just ahead of me.
867-5309?
Yeah, that's Jenny's number. Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a code. See, you didn't know that. Did you ever call it?
What's grosser than gross?
I bet you never called it. Did you call it?
I actually have. Yeah.
Ooh.
Then what did you get?
It was. I was trying to recall the area code, and it would actually play the song.
555.
Is it the area code 555?
No.
Oh no, I think it was. But no, you could actually at one time call 8675319 or 309. Sorry, but you had to have the right area code. But I can't recall the area code anymore. That was a few years back. I would play.
The generic number they would use in movies for numbers.
It's always 555. Yeah.
Yeah. That was an area that had no actual real numbers to it, so people weren't actually calling people. But then there was someone dude who did use a real number, and he was part of some music promotion stuff. I can't remember what was that dude who did that. That was pretty cool.
I'm just here for the comments.
I'm sure.
I'm surprised no one's publicized a phone number, and when you call it, you get Rick Astley.
Well, they've done other stuff. They had
Never
internet shit like that, like you clicked on certain links or whatever it was on.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard about what's the phone booth?
The Mojave.
You know it.
That's it.
I saw the
Did
movie.
you ever ring that?
No, I didn't actually. Did you?
Yeah.
Did you really?
Wait, Lee, did you call
I'm a
Mike
fucking
Jones?
idiot.
Huh?
Did you call Mike Jones?
Of course.
He put his number in the fucking song too.
Uh-huh.
Mike
Who's
Jones.
Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Who?
Oh God.
Done security for him too.
I like. What was the big tall dude's name?
Which one?
The grill dude.
Oh, you're talking about not Paul. Fuck.
Yeah, Paul Wall.
No, Paul. But the tall one was
It
Fuck.
was Paul Wall, wasn't it?
Paul Wall's not tall. He's a short white dude from Texas.
Okay. Yeah.
The big one is the tall. What the fuck? I can hear his voice. I just can't fucking. Fuck. Come on, brain.
Come
Give me a
on,
minute.
Brian, you can do it.
All right, leave me alone.
Oh, don't tell me to leave you alone.
You leave me alone.
Hassle this.
Oh, blah blah blah. Your petty threats, man.
Arrgh! Don't make me come over there and fucking growl at you.
Yeah,
He don't
uh-huh.
like that.
Yeah.
He doesn't like it when I growl at him either.
This was H-Town.
He gets all pissy when I growl at
What do
him.
you say?
But
Nothing.
H-Town sound was big back then.
Yeah, the Texas sound and all that shit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Zero. Why can't I remember this fucking dude's name? I can see him too.
I don't even know who you guys are talking about.
Yeah, they're rappers. They
Must be a boy thing, Six Drops.
There you go.
You don't know who Mike Jones is, then yeah.
No.
Well, let's Google it. Mike Jones.
Who?
Mike
don't know.
Jones.
Who?
Mike Jones.
Oh God, give it up, you
Let's see
two.
what comes up. Mike Jones, American rapper. Mike Jones phone number.
See?
And what's okay? And what else does it say? It can't just say he's a rapper and that's his phone number.
I just
I'll play you the song tomorrow, Charlie.
Okay.
there's like a
As
bazillion
long as you
things.
don't sing. Are you going to sing?
You know
Or
it.
just the song?
oh.
Okay.
We got some dipping and leaning and stuff to talk about there.
Okay. I'll look forward to that.
We'll bring over some urban cowboys.
Oh, very nice.
You want to see that movie?
Yes.
Did you drink the worm?
I always drink the wine.
281-330-8004. Who? Mike Jones. 312-945-6534.
And Lee, you're talking about Slim Thug.
Thank you.
See,
Okay,
From
what is
Mike
going
Jones.
on now?
beats me. See, over my head.
I
Mike
don't know,
Jones.
someone's choking, someone's coughing their ass up. Oh, you got to cough to get off. That's it, baby.
Self-destruct sequence activated.
Yes.
Mike Jones made a rap song when he basically was like, "Hit me up on this number," so you could call the number and he would answer and talk to fans.
Right. That was the
Really?
guy we mentioned earlier. Right. He had a number as a question thing that actually made him pop off. That was him. Yep.
Cool.
Oh, wow.
And other people we
Well,
talking
that
about
actually
Paul
feels a little
Wall.
bit interesting when you say it like that.
Then there's a bunch of other rappers that were all down together and were doing their thing. Paul Wall, Slim Thug, Zero. I think there's a bunch of them.
Yeah.
So they're all connected. It's all Houston-based rappers.
Okay.
That you used to work security for.
Okay.
No, only Mike Jones.
Just Mike Jones?
And fuck.
And
I
which
can't-
number did you used to ring him on?
Not that one.
Sorry.
Not that one. And what the fuck
Hey.
is the other kid's name? Fuck. From Houston. Because he dated another client who I used to do security for as well. It's kind of funny. What the fuck was his name? There's so many fucking faces. I can't remember all their fucking names.
Well, you're so far out of the game nowadays, anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rory and Malls on the new come up.
Yeah. I actually just linked up with some old friends, so we'll see.
That's
Kinda fun.
nice.
Yeah.
You know who Rory and Maul are?
Rory
Yep.
and Maul.
I do now.
Aren't they podcasters?
Yes.
Mm,
Yeah.
They are podcasters.
They were Joe Budden's fucking.
Very,
yes, they were.
very, very good way to say that.
I know who they are.
They had a little breakup and they decided to go solo and do their own thing now.
Yeah.
Because they got disrespected, Joe.
You know it.
That's how Joe rolls. Done security for his ass, too. I told you. He is what he is.
Nah, he actually did an interesting interview with what's that?
I can't think of the guy's name, but I
Chris
do have the interview. Yeah.
Sit down with Chris. He interviewed Chris Hansen. And he actually asked Chris Hansen.
Oh, you talking about Vlad?
No, not Vlad.
Oh.
Button did.
Oh, okay. Never mind. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And he asked him about Pizzagate. Chris Hansen was like, nope, not true. And I was like, whoa, cool. Hey. So yeah, it was kind of interesting.
They'll just say he was part of it.
I
Yeah.
thought you were
Oh,
going
my
to do the
God.
other interview. Sorry.
That went totally into his conspiracy theory bag.
He's deep state.
He sold out to the man to get his record deal and get his pump it up.
Yeah.
Oh.
Now this is that Chris Hansen. Why didn't you have a seat over here?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's Chris Hansen.
What were you doing here? Why did you bring rope, lube, and 10 cases of beer?
Yes,
Yep.
About him on talking to Onisi and stuff and all the recent because he's doing YouTube now.
What was that TV show he was on though? I can't remember the name.
How to Catch a Predator.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Yes.
Yeah.
Inspired a lot of YouTubers to try to do the same thing and
managed to fuck up a whole bunch of cases.
No, but they
that
got one
probably could
here,
have been
though.
prosecuted.
They got one here who's caught. He caught like a fucking police chief, all kinds of shit though.
Yep. And unfortunately there's also a guy up there right now. Let's
More than one.
what happened with that cupcake dude, Jolly? Like I said, some guy was going to meet some person that pretended to be a 13-year-old girl.
Yep.
And so it was dudes pretending to be a 13-year-old girl, and this other guy showed up to meet the 13-year-old girl to get cupcakes from the thing. But like I says, no law enforcement were involved. Nothing.
None.
So they just showed up to try to beat him up on YouTube.
And because of the way it was all done, and because it then went out on YouTube and everybody saw it and all the friggin' bullshit that then slides from there, there's virtually no way of him ever being like successfully prosecuted. You know, the guy, leaves and immediately like dumps all his devices and gets rid of it. I mean, it's what pisses me off.
New channel will be able to groom other young kids the same exactly.
That's it. And you see about a big one like that, but then you got to think to yourself, how many small little people are doing exactly this sort of thing, hoping to go viral, hoping to make a name for themselves, and all they are, we're trying to save the kids, and that's all very honorable, but the way they're going about it is doing more harm than most people realize.
Well, that's the dark
And
side
God
of the
help
internet.
you when you actually try and say to people that are involved in that sort of shit, you understand that what you're doing is making prosecutions virtually impossible.
But
doing this.
again, right now, because the case is the case, that poachers group is under the eyeball of federal authorities now.
Yeah.
Not just the police.
No,
not just
I
the
know. The federals are looking at him. I was being funny because she was ranting about him earlier. But yeah.
Oh, she was?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
All right, kids.
We're live.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Blunt. The last blunt is over.
It's over. It's time to go to bed. Thank you for riding out with me and having this very great conversation. Thank you, Jolly. Thank you,
You're
Six
very
Drops. Thank you,
welcome,
Lee. Thank
sweetheart.
you for everyone in the chat. Drew J, Philip Blair, Dex, everybody who came by. Thank you for spending your time. Happy Father's Day to you folks who are behind us, who are still celebrating Father's Day. And may your tomorrow be filled with rainbows and unicorns and kitties.
Have a great week, everybody.
Electric
Have a great
titties.
week.
Yes. Good night, KB. It's over.
Okay.
All right. Bye,
Bye.
motherfuckers. I like to don't have to kick people out. See, they're just like, we out. That's it. See you on the other side. Peace.